Mm, 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 mm. What's up? Mm, mm, mm. Hey, everybody. Unannounced live, so we'll see who jumps in. Shall be fun. We'll see who. Dun 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 dun. Dun 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 dun. Dun 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 dun. Ooh, nope. What's up, Dan? I love the new name, by the way. Dan, the answer man. Shout out to who gave you that. Thanks, bro. Just finally getting it freshened up. Shaved all this off. You'll rarely see me in a collared shirt. Getting to combine some great things. Just got home about 20 minutes ago. So here on the East Coast, yeah, I got home right before 10 o'clock. What's up, Andy? Yep. Got a new little do. It's how I roll. Thanks for jumping in. I'm combining it. Yeah. It just felt like, I wanted to jump on live. I was getting that feeling somebody needed a Friday night live. So whatever I can do to help out. Yeah. Yeah. I haven't been home. I've only been home for about 2-3 hours all day today, and it was a day off. And what I mean by 2-3 hours today, woke up. My son wanted to host. Probably need to set him, letting him start doing it. He wanted to host a fake YouTube video as we packed up our shipments, and as we're doing it, and he's talking to my my little like gimbal stand here. He's talking to it, welcoming everybody, saying thanks for hanging out, YouTube family, and he's just being the host with the most. We're packing up shipments. I took those to the post office, and I have been pretty much gone all day. So finally home, and I can update everybody on, feel like doing some Q&A. How my I got a little more work to do tonight before I go to bed, but just how everything's been rolling. And I will definitely drop the link in the chat if anybody wants to jump in. Feel free to do so. I am just taking a nice Friday night to see what everybody's up to, hanging out. No crazy agenda. I do have some fun questions to ask as people jump in. Like, I just think it'll be fun. Just some fun ones. Hey, what's up? I love your profile pic, by the way. SSK promo. I just want to yell like, oh no! Oh, that's a good one, Dan. 14 days without must be tough. I did, but it's kind of like you can say it's like breaking an addiction. I would definitely have like the issue of wanting to jump in a thrift store and see what I can find, because you do feel like you're missing out on something, but but I've been doing strong. I've been staying strong, and I feel like next week's going to be easy. I've been getting on the grind. My last name is Bill, so I've heard that my whole life. I love that. But hey, I got somebody who wants to jump in. This is Man in Costco. Man in Costco, you ready? I'm going to throw you in. You good? All right, so you guys give it up for Man in Costco. I love that name.
Hey, Josh.
How's it going?
Oh, you know.
Having fun?
Just getting the essentials.
Okay. You look like you're well protected.
Oh, yeah, we have to. We just reinstated a mask policy.
Yeah. Tonight was the first little gas station. I stopped at a gas station on the way home to one day maybe there'll be a sponsor, but I was like, I just want to get a Bang energy drink.
Lemon drop. Garbage.
The only reason I like this one is because it doesn't taste like all the other sweet ones.
Oh.
It's got a little more tang to it than the other ones. They're just kind of, they all taste the same to me.
I see.
But yeah, man, like introduce yourself. Let everybody know where you're from.
Dude.
What are your favorite things to source? I love that you just showed the mug. He's like, dun dun
dun. Hey guys, my name is Andy. How's it going?
He's the man with the plan, guys. If you haven't checked out his videos, like Andy, you kill it, bro. I love it. But like, I want you can tell everybody kind of what you like to source, over on the West Coast, and I know personally what you comment on. Not that I kind of think I know what you like, but but I love this name, Man in Costco. I feel like we should do videos like that. Be like, man on a hunt in Goodwill.
Random.
Man,
man good does thing.
Man in Walgreens. I think that'd be fun. But yeah, like, what are your big things that you like to source, man?
Well, mainly a clothing guy. I do a lot of clothing sales. I do shoes too, but lately I've been doing the online arbitrage.
Yeah.
I've been selling a lot of the Amazon pools.
I like that. Andy's style is one of a kind in a great way. He does. He kills it, man. I will.
Dan, why'd you change your name? Wasn't it the Methadone Man earlier?
I have a guess at this, but I do want to hear his answer. See? Because it's part of his name, Answer Man. But I do want to hear it. Well, wait for him to jump in the chat. But yeah, dude, I was going to say, the rollerblade video, bro. I'm like, some YouTube award shows need to get that video. Because not just like the content in it, but your editing, the color scale, like just everything about that video. I was like, bro, like they could slap a Red Bull logo on the end and be like, yeah, you like our new guy we got?
So here's a secret that probably no one knows unless you're like one of the resellers from a long time ago. But that my first video on the channel, the one posted on January 1st, the video is actually 3 years old.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Nice. That's how long I've been trying to get into it. So, I've had a long time to think about it. So I just decided to give it a go,
Well, see, that's good to know, man. Like, hey, what's up?
Hey, Calvin.
Yeah, Calvin was going hard the other night, man. 5-hour live.
Yeah, it was good live though.
For a little bit.
Everybody blessed him with their presence.
Yeah, he was rolling.
I'm going up and down one aisle right now.
You're keeping it interesting, man. You need a GoPro on your shoulder. Like,
Oh, usually when I'm doing when I used to do lives back in February inside the thrift stores, I would just grab the camera like this, and then you would just see me like pick up random things like this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, he's trying to figure out who it is. I like this.
Come on, there's only one person who got the drip like me.
There you go. Nobody else is rocking like that, man. He said for sure he was dead the next day. Yeah. You had me beat Calvin. I did a 4-hour live and I was dead. So you crushed me, man. That was good. But yeah. No, like I had to recap and look at my stuff tonight because I was like, when did I even do my first video? I think it was April 1st. And then I remember I did it because I was like, when I told people I did it, I was waiting for them to be like, oh, that's a great April Fool's joke. And I was like, no, for real, like, go check it out. Like, I actually did a real video. Because I did the same thing. I kept kicking the idea around, and this was not my first channel idea. Like, I've always loved reselling since I was like in middle school, believe it or not.
Right.
Dude, I love flipping stuff. But it was when I was able to, like, my son is actually inspiring me to do a video. We were going to do, like, we have a 5-acre pond in the backyard.
Yeah.
We were going to do a fishing video. I used to love it. We got somebody else that wants to jump in. We got another guest, Andy, so I'm going to throw him in here with us. You look like you found something good, man.
Oh, no, it's just a portable SSD. Just deciding if I need to treat myself or not.
That's what I did today. I was going to talk about that a little bit because Dan was asking. But speaking of Dan, let's go ahead and get Dan, the man.
What's up, everybody?
What?
Can you hear me okay?
What?
Yeah, man. I can hear you.
Yeah, I know Andy asked why I changed my name, so I figured it'd be easier to explain than type a bunch of lines.
We need the answer. We need it.
It's funny because I've been on YouTube a long time, but just as a pure watcher, right? And I still am, but so I had my full, first and last name, and then I'm like, yeah, it's probably not a good idea to be on a bunch of these lives during the workday when I'm supposed to be working, right? So I just changed it to Dan M. So I had Dan M for a while.
Yeah.
And then people are like, it's so hard to find your YouTube channel, because I always joke, I only have 10 subscribers or 15 subscribers. So I'd always have to give them the full link. Then I'm like, I'll do a more unique, channel name. And so that's where it came from yesterday morning. And like my username is like Method Dan for a long time because I was a big Wu-Tang fan. So Method Man, play on that, Method Dan, etc. Right?
Right.
And so I'm like, method, well, I'm a grown man now. It's methodology, make it a little bit more, a little deeper and so forth. And then some people liked it. Some people are like, what? So I was like, I'll change it up because people started throwing stuff in. Victoria from Adventures in Reselling this morning on her show, or somebody is either that show or Ecom and Beyond. She said, go with Dan the Answer Man. And they were like, yeah, that's good. That's good. And so I just said, all right, I'll run with it for a bit and see if people like it. So that's the long story short.
For me, it hit home instantly because, like I said, the first couple times I chatted with you, I was telling you this. We did the live last time. I was like saying, I found this, and you were like, bro, here's what it's selling for. Here's the comp. I found it, and I'm not lying. I'm looking at my browser window because I did save it to my favorites, but because of you, you shared a link with me looking up a saddle price, and I was like, I'm gonna learn about saddles. And I still have it on my desktop. I'm just like, and I was like, so when I saw this name, I was like, Dan the Answer Man, dude, you will be like every reseller's like answer like dream. Like we're gonna do like live sourcing. Like right now, Andy could pick up something. He's like, Dan, what do you think? And you're like, 1 second. No, it's not a good buy. It's not a good buy.
Yeah,
I love it.
I mean, as my real job or full-time job is I have to answer my customers' questions and other people in my company and stuff. So I just have learned to find either know the answer or find it quickly. So it carried over to a lot of other aspects. So, yeah.
Well, we're gonna turn this chat into a quad chat.
Oh,
we have another guest that wants to join, and I feel like this is just gonna be a good collab night.
Is it Calvin? Because I
No,
know
SSK promo, last name Bill, and I love
his
profile pic. So
well, what's up, Calvin?
Chat. What's
Hey, how's it going, guys?
Mr.
Great
Bill.
to be on. I appreciate it.
I love the Bill, man.
Yes, like I said, my last name is Bill, so my whole life I've had the "oh no." So try to incorporate that for a little fun.
So where are you from?
I am from Ohio, kind of north central Ohio. So
I think there's an echo on SSK promo. You need to mute your YouTube feed.
I need to figure out that here.
If you're on
mute
your YouTube.
You guys got an echo?
Yeah.
A little bit.
Let me see it because I turned off the YouTube. I had this problem before. Let me see here. Are we any better there?
Is it still? Can you guys hear it? I hear it a little bit.
Sometimes if you're on an iPhone, it has a problem with StreamYard.
Yeah, it's just an Android phone. So yeah, I don't want to disrupt. I know when I was on Joey Bada Bing show here a couple weeks ago, and it had an echo, and it was just annoying, really, for the most part. I don't know how to fix that issue. I'm on, like say, on my phone. So
try using headphones.
Yeah. Try using headphones.
Yeah. Let me see if I can fix that here.
What I'll do is I'll drop you out and then just click the link and jump back in. Okay?
I appreciate it. All right. Thanks.
Hey, thanks, buddy. I'll see you in a little bit.
All right.
All righty. Hopefully he'll get that straight. But no, talking on what you were asking, Dan, probably about 2-3 days ago. It was kicking my butt, man. And what I did is I turned that energy of like wanting to go thrifting really bad, and people are saying probably tomorrow I'm gonna really be like suffering yard sale morning, you know. But I just wanted to turn it into like I make myself stare at that pile, and I've rewatched the intro to that video of all those shoes over and over again. And dude, I've been like putting that energy into grinding like hard. I'm so bad at names. I know his name's Chris. I'll have to find it, but it's a podcast.
Josh.
Yeah.
I'm gonna hop out.
All right, man.
I'm gonna check out right now.
Andy Someta.
See, Andy.
Crush it. Find some good stuff. Daily Refinement. You ever seen his channel, Dan?
I don't believe so.
He's definitely up there, man. He's got I think last time I looked at his numbers, I think he does like 10,000 a week. So he's like up there, but he's always thinking forward on the business plan, the business idea, how to grow this, how to not be like one dimensional in, you know, kind of your stream. And he said something really, really good, and I've heard it in so many ways in a joking way. But he said, if you're doing this, he says, I get messages all the time, and somebody's like, and I even did it like yesterday. I was like, oh my gosh, I did it, made it over 50 listings. He goes, I get messages all the time, and they're like, hey Chris, man, I just wanted to share with you, I did 20 listings today. And he goes, you shouldn't have to be patted on the back for doing your job. And he was trying to say it in a nice way. Because he said, it's like brushing your teeth. You want to brush your teeth to take care of your teeth.
Right.
I shouldn't have to say, good job, you did something you're supposed to do. He goes, if you're buying stuff and you're not listing it, you're just a buyer.
Yep.
And when he said it, I was just so like, you're right. It's the part of the job that, unless you're really into it, nobody likes to do the listing part, but that's the reseller part. I love it, man. I was just like,
it reminds me of people who are like, yeah, I watched my kid today. Yeah, you're the parent. You're supposed to.
And it was so good. And I was actually, I'll talk about that a little bit. I'm gonna get Mr. Bill back in. Let's see how it is working now. How you doing there?
Okay, we any better here?
Man, you sound good, man.
Okay, no echo. All right.
Sounds really good.
Perfect.
We got Pittsburgh in the house. But yeah, what we're talking about, Mr. Bill, I'm taking a 14-day challenge. I know you've commented on it a little bit, and you're dead on. I was sharing it with my brother-in-law. I got my sister and brother-in-law into reselling a month ago.
Mm-hmm.
The bug bit him. I got him to go help me. He had a truck, so I said, I got all this stuff on auction. Can you go help me pick it up? And he bid on like 2 lots that auction, and he made $500 off of 2 lots.
All
and he
right.
was like, I'm in. Well, my sister does all the listing. He likes to do all the sourcing. Well, he doesn't slow down sourcing when she's busy doing 5 other things. She's behind in the listing. That's the agreement they have. And he was like, I don't get it. She's not doing all the listing. Now, mind you, I love him to death. I have this collared shirt on because I was doing the rehearsal dinner for my niece's wedding tomorrow. It's where I've been all day. I was like, hey, bro, your daughter is getting married. You've still gone to Goodwill this week. My sister's not going to do any listing. She's, you guys are sending off your firstborn to get married tomorrow. I think it's okay to do the family stuff this week, And I was kind of giving that example. I says, you're going to get frustrated because you're finding the great deals all the time, but it's turning into a pile of money that's spent that's going nowhere.
Yes.
It's going nowhere. So I was like, hey, man, this is why I'm doing this challenge. I have a pile of stuff. And right now, it's going nowhere.
Yes.
I can go find more stuff. All right, Dan, just hit me up when you can jump back in. But when I looked at it, I was like, and it was actually a lot of credit. I was already kind of stewing this in my brain. I wanted a good plan to really work on my listing goals, and jumped in Josh Harry Tornado's live chat. I just caught a glimpse of it. I was in the middle of doing something else, and he says, it's funny as resellers, we love sourcing.
Yes.
We buy 10 things. We instantly want to sell 5 because we know they're hot, and the other 5 go in a corner. So then we go to the store the next day. We buy 20. We sell 5. Now 15. Now 15's added up with the other 5. Now you have 20 in your corner. Guess what you did?
Yes.
You listed again. And you listed 5. And you're happy because you're getting your 5 sales. But now you've got 35 items sitting in a corner. And he goes, then you look at that corner and it gets overwhelming because you'd rather go find the 5 quick flips.
Yes.
If you don't make a decision on that stuff, it's literally like saying, I'm going to go pump $20 worth of gas, but I'm going to put $5 in my tank and the other 15 I'm going to dump on the ground.
Exactly. Yes.
And he's like, if you don't make the mental decision to do it, and then in combination with what I was listening to in this Daily Refinement podcast, he was kind of like, that's part of the job.
Oh yeah, definitely.
It's way easier to find stuff. It's way easier to source. But the other part of the job is to turn it into cash flow, turn it into revenue.
Yes, agreed. It is a difficult thing to do. I love the sourcing part. I love finding items. I like making a good decision. You find something that you're really excited about.
Yep.
And you get it up and it sells quick. And those other 2, 3, 4, 10 items sit there And yeah, the death pile just gets bigger and bigger. And yeah, it's hard to stay motivated on the listing, which I love your 14-day plan. It just, when I watch that video, it's like that, that's a great idea. And it motivated me to try to list more or try to implement something that, I'm still going to source because I love it. I was out all day today at yard sales and a citywide sale, and I come back with a whole carload of stuff. And it's like, I already had a whole carload of stuff. Yeah, I need to get that listed. And, again, just what you just said, I'm excited about the new stuff. I was excited about yesterday's stuff yesterday. And Wednesday stuff Wednesday. And so just trying to get that motivation to list and not always source.
No, I agree, man. I've been I like this, Calvin. I'll show you some Woo stuff when I jump back on. Yeah, man. I've still got you in the broadcast area, Dan. Your camera's not on. So as soon as I see you jump back into the feed, I'll drop a link there again if you gotta redo it. Oh, he's right there. All right, so I'm gonna bring Dan back in.
All right.
But yeah, and that's what I was kind of mentally telling myself, and I want, me and Kat had this good discussion a few weeks back, and I tell people, and I want to put it in every video, you don't have to run your business like I'm running mine. Do what you're doing, great, man. Some people, if like you want to go and buy all this stuff and then have a giant yard sale or a flea market, go for it. Like that's kind of what people need to do. I just did it as hopefully a help to somebody who goes, my sourcing's out of control, or how do I get over the grind of listing, or when you're too tired to list because they are not exciting items, or because you didn't see it in somebody else's video, And I was like, how do I remind myself that I picked it up in the first place?
Yes.
Why did I pick it up? Where did the passion go? And what if and proof is in the pudding, man. I listed some stuff that because I had another kickback question. Josh, why are you doing this after the quarantine when a lot of people couldn't source? Great question.
Yes.
Somebody asked me that, and I said, you're exactly right. Why am I choosing to do this 14-day of no sourcing when I can, when I didn't do this when I couldn't? Hey, what's up, Uncle B? What's up, Jimmy?
Hey.
Hey, thanks for joining.
Jimmy.
Because I scrambled when quarantine went down, and your boy was on online auctions like nobody's business.
Mm-hmm.
I did get worried, and I let myself like go crazy, and I was buying box lots of stuff locally, getting stuff shipped in. I was trying to find ways to source. I'll let you know, I finally listed one of the box lots that I got from an auction back in March, and I sold 5 items out of that box today.
Excellent. That
have been sitting in a tote on a rack while I piled more stuff in front of it. And I was like, there's the proof right there. It was like old skateboard equipment. And I knew it was hot when I got it.
Yes.
And I let it sit there because something else got my attention.
Exactly. Yeah, it's a probably a common problem with a lot of resellers, and I just enjoyed that video, and it's made me kind of work through that process and figure out what's a better way to manage that sourcing, listing, and then of course hopefully each day you're packing and shipping and mailing, and and then you just kind of got your general maintenance of your account, your financials, and all of that. And it's definitely have to balance all of that somehow.
I will tell you, I'm into day 6 now. what the last three things you just mentioned, and because Dan, I want to get back to you because I know you got some Wu-Tang stuff. So
yeah, I don't want to interrupt the good conversation.
No, you're good. You're good, man. Because I do want to jump to you too. The best thing it's done for me, I messaged 5 messages that have come in the last month, questions on product that I never got to, because I was so excited for the offers and the jump back and forth. People wanted measurements on stuff that I didn't feel like doing. Oh, dang. I realized this is going to be guilty. It'll be in my next video. All right. Does everybody know what my #1 thing that I love selling? Shoes. I'm a shoe fanatic.
Yeah.
Right there. Guess what I let myself run out of, Dan?
Don't do it. Yeah, I saw your video earlier.
Yeah. I looked on the shelf and I sold 3 pair of shoes and I Frankenstein boxes real quick and I had I probably have 80 pairs of shoes listed and I had nothing to ship them out in. I had stopped paying attention to my store inventory, not product to list, but not having stuff equipped because I was so excited on finding the new shoes that I let myself. So now I'm waiting on USPS to bring me 100 boxes. I used my eBay coupon to get some kind of box that was close to a size of a shoe box. And I was like, man, this 14 days is going to help me with my customer appreciation and follow-up. It's going to help me with my store inventory as far as my products, my shipping. Another thing that I did that I'm actually treating myself to, I'm not going to lie, man, I scanned 5 things at Marshall's today. Just to go like, oh my gosh, if I pick these up. But like, since you were showing shoes, Dan, yeah.
Oh yeah.
I've now, for the first time in a couple months, I bought this shirt. I bought these pair of shoes. I want to go shopping for myself. That is something I've had a really tough time doing. Because typically I'd go into Marshall's and I know I needed a t-shirt. I'm not joking. I walked out with a Tommy jacket that I could flip for $50. I walked out with an Army Nike jersey going for $64. It was on clearance for $11. And there's nothing wrong with that. But you know what I didn't leave with? I didn't leave with a shirt that I needed. I realized it. I was having the hardest time buying for myself because my brain was so turned into this source avenue to where I needed a shirt. I had to go to Marshall's today. I needed a shirt to wear this rehearsal dinner. And I was like, dang. Like, I actually went shopping for myself today. Man, that was weird, you know? And I still sold stuff because I had stuff to sell. It was okay.
Yes.
I want to share this real quick. Uncle B found a 2001 Woody toy.
Nice.
Go ahead, bro. When you find the originals. He said with the hat.
Part it out. Like Aaron. If the hat was $50.
I know, that's what's smart right there. But Dan, all right. Dan, I want to see, man.
Yeah, real quick. So Calvin asked about if I have any Woo wear, right? So
I'm just letting you know ahead of time when you show me this stuff, this video will be recorded because my buddy is Woo Ride or Die. And I'm gonna send this link to this video to him. Like, I might even do it right now. I'm like, Nate, I need you to jump on.
That's cool.
All right, what you got, man?
So I grew up. I went to high school in the early, mid 90s, right? Graduated in 95. So Wu-Tang was huge in the 90s, right? When they first came out, and everybody was all on it, including myself.
Yeah.
And I listened to a lot of stuff. So when Calvin said, they're putting out new samples, new stuff, I'm like, I'm all about that. So Let's see, Calvin, let me know what you think. So I got this old school Woo wear hat. And I don't know, not being a reseller, I don't know, but I mean, this is official Woo wear. Okay. And this stuff is just sitting in my closet. I got the Woo beanie.
Hold on,
probably tried on one time. Never worn.
I'm chatting with him right now. But Calvin, are you seeing this?
Right. So, and I had a bunch of Woo wear shirts and stuff, which I just wore until they were grimy and stuff. I didn't even want to even, I probably got rid of them, like all of us, right? We got rid of old stuff that people would kill for today. But I wanted to show a couple other interesting things, right?
Dan has the honey hole in his house, if you didn't know.
So, you know, CDs were huge in the 90s, right?
Yep.
So a Wu-Tang Forever CD, but the catch is, if you can make it out,
Ooh. Yeah,
it's a made in England CD. So this is an international CD. I wish I hadn't opened them, but I actually listened to them. And Enter the Wu-Tang 36 Chambers, but it's a Japanese edition.
Dang, man.
Right?
Hold
Same
on.
thing.
I'm gonna do for you what you do for me.
You want to see what they're worth? I haven't even looked these up. You know, just a single of ODB. How about, let's see, what else do I have over here? I actually went to go get some of the stuff because I didn't remember where it was. It's just kind of sitting in different closets because we moved in September. So I started moving stuff around as well. Sealed Wu-Tang Cream single. Never opened, still in the plastic. But
Man.
This is my baby right here. Vinyl. I mean, you don't see vinyl anymore. A vinyl Method Man to Cal CD or album.
Nice.
I bought it when I was in California one time it was $17.99 from a record shop.
All right. Well, we got to add him to it because he's gonna talk to you right now.
Oh, right on.
For my man, Calvin.
Yo.
You see this stuff, Calvin?
Bro, like, hey, shit. So I graduated high school in 2002.
Same here.
Yep, 2002, class of 2002. But I remember, so about 10th grade, I never wore Wu wear. I wasn't a huge fan of Wu-Tang. You knew who they were, though, you know, Wu-Tang. And went to the mall, and I just seen, I don't know why yellow stood out. I seen a yellow Wu wear shirt. Man, I wore that thing until, you know, probably, I took it to my 20s, man. I cut off the sleeves at one point and was just rocking it to, like, work out. And, you know, I kept that shirt for about 10 years, man.
It literally fell apart.
Yeah, it fell apart.
Yep.
Shirts that I used to have, because yes, 2002, Wu had started producing, you know, the solo artists.
Yeah.
Ghostface was out, Method Man, Redman. I had my Limp Bizkit.
Okay. Fred Durst on.
Yeah. If I had still had that thing, oh my goodness.
Bro, it's crazy. Like, I remember back in the day, this was like 8th grade. My buddy's mom, she was flipping when I didn't even really know what that was, but we used to go to swap meets. So in San Diego, there's swap meets. It's like you go to like Venkit, like drive-in movie lots and stuff like that, and sports arena lots. And, you know, just got a bunch of vendors set up, selling all types of stuff. She used to sell fabric. And so he was like, hey, bro, I'm going to go, because he used to come to school with all the wrestling shirts. Undertaker, Kane, like all of them. I was like, man. He was like, come. He was like, bro, we're going this Saturday like at 6 a.m. Come with me. So I was like, all right, man. And yeah, we used to get all the wrestling shirts. I was just like, damn, like now on that thought, I don't know if they were official. I don't know if they were real, but just thinking about it is like, damn, shit like that, you could flip. You know what I'm saying?
Tommy said, Dan, don't pick your nose on the live stream.
Make a meme out of it.
Yeah, because Jimmy's in the chat. It'll be the next. It'll be the next one for the next show.
Nice.
I do want to ask this though, because
check it out real quick. Check it out real quick. You mentioned Limp Bizkit. I forgot I had this album. It's a single, but it's the Limp Bizkit In Together Now when Method Man was featured on it. Sealed.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Hey man, that's them TRL days, right?
Oh, bro.
Yeah.
Them TRL days, bro.
Bro, I might have charged some money to my dad's account calling in a few times. Okay.
And then I got my old CD Bible. I mean, this is a thick.
Look, it don't even fit clothes anymore.
I mean, I don't even know where.
Hey, let me call out some CDs. That's not all Wu-Tang, is it?
Not all of it, but it's a lot of it.
Is it, damn. Is it a lot of hip hop or just a bit of everything?
It's majority of hip hop, but there's also a lot of kind of 90s kind of grunge stuff, some like
hell yeah.
Like, you know, some like some Weezer and some other stuff.
That's what it is, bruh.
Bruh, hey, my father-in-law loves grunge. So like whenever I'm partying with him, like I party with my father-in-law. Like we literally
sit
out back.
Yeah, you were talking about that live. Yeah.
Bro, we'll sit out back or sit in the basement and just drink Keystone and listen to Nirvana and anything grunge, man. He loves it. He's 57. I don't know why he's into it, but he loves grunge.
Yeah, I have this, you know, idea or theory that people tend to listen to music you like around your late high school years, and you kind of stick with that, and that's kind of your favorite music. You know, you kind of grow a little bit, you know, in your 20s and stuff, but you kind of, that's your thing you always drawn back to.
Yeah, I love the music that I came up on, but I consider myself like old, kind of in tune. So I try to keep up with like a few of the newer stuff, you know. So I'm okay in that, and I actually like a lot of the newer music, like hip hop.
I was gonna say.
Not everyone though, like not the weirdo type of stuff,
right?
But like,
there's some you know, not the Mr. Bill. What's your go-to like listing music? Like, what do you have playing in the background?
Usually, I got Amazon Music going. It's just a channel called My Soundtrack. Has a lot of new hits, a lot of older stuff. You know, I'm from the kind of the hair metal band.
There we go.
Era. So, you know, got a lot of that playing.
White Snake.
Yeah. White Snake. You know, of course, Guns N' Roses.
Hell yeah.
Just, you know, a lot of Metallica, that sort of, you know, heavier stuff. And so, yeah, I'm much older than you fellas, for sure.
Hey, it is okay. Like, my dad got me into a wide variety of music, man.
Oh yeah.
My dad.
I have an older sister. She's like 6-7 years older than me.
Yeah.
So she grew up, you know, basically in the late 80s and stuff. So I listened to a lot of stuff she did too. So Tommy just mentioned NWA and stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, I had the Easy Does It album when I was like, you know, 9 years old, 10 years old. Stuff you probably shouldn't listen to, but I listened to everything. So.
Like,
yeah, man.
That's the same for me, man. It's like what I go through and try to listen to, and like music, I definitely have to get into a mode. There's like some music that I'll go straight instrumental because like I can turn the brain off, and dude, I'm just like start going machine listening. It's like, let's go. It's like if I get on something else, I'll get into a tangent. Like I'm trying to think of like what's in my most recently played. There's a band. They're more of like a experimental funk. Mute Math. They got big a few years back, but they do like experimental. They build their own instruments. They do jazzy techno, like this crazy sound stuff. Dude, I can turn that on for like hours. And
that's just all instrumental. That's all instrumental right there.
They do instrumental. They do some lyric stuff too.
Yeah.
But just the way they play, I can just get. It's like I'm in an ever looping car commercial.
Ooh. Hell yeah.
Tommy just mentioned the Fat Boys Crushing cassette.
Yeah.
I had that.
Fat Boys is fire. Fat Boys is fire. You remember? Hey, what movie? Fat Boys came out. They were like in a movie. They were like the stars of a movie.
Yeah.
What movie was that?
We were
talking
what I'm talking
about?
When they went into the all-you-can-eat pizza place and they ate all the buffet food. And they even ate the wallpaper.
What is that movie called, bro? Who knows?
I think it's called Crush Groove.
Was it Crush Groove?
Great.
I think so.
Man.
I thought Crush Groove featured a lot more artists. I thought Crush Groove featured.
Oh, you're talking about Delirious, where they were orderlies.
Yeah.
Disorderlies. Yeah, well, they had to take care of that old guy who was his family was trying to kill him off.
That sounds familiar.
That's it. It's called Disorderlies. Okay, you're thinking of a different movie than I was.
That sounds familiar right there.
Yep.
Man.
Yeah, I just remember that movie because one of the guys was on a diet because he liked this girl, and she was like, "Oh, if you want to be with me, you need to eat this lettuce." And the other guys are ordering like stacks of pizza, remember? And they were playing like poker with like candy and stuff, and they were just
Thanks for hanging out.
That is ridiculous, bro.
Oh yeah, I love movies.
That's the movie I'm talking about. That's the movie I'm talking about. Yep. I don't even have to know the name, just by you describing it. That's what I'm talking about.
That was one of the ones I had probably either recorded off HBO or some bootleg VHS that I watched over and over.
You remember back in the day we used to like, it was like pay-per-view event or something, or like movies, you go to the Blockbuster or something, you have 2 VCR set up, you could record the Blockbuster movie, or if something's on pay-per-view, you just stick the blank cassette, blank VHS in the VCR, hit record, boom, you get all the fights, everything.
So one of my best friend growing up, his parents owned a video store, so we had access to anything. So anything I needed, he would give me copies of.
Nice.
The Kung Fu. Hey, all the karate movies, the old karate movies are fire.
So
fire.
all those Kung Fu movies, that Wu-Tang based a lot of their sound effects on and samples from.
Yeah.
They released a series of them on VHS, and I bought them all out. And I had them.
Damn.
And I stopped, and I don't remember what happened. I think I gave them away to like my nieces or nephews or something when I moved years ago. So I don't even have them anymore.
Yeah. That shit is crazy. Yeah, those movies would be, man, I could probably still, like, I haven't watched an old school karate movie. I can't remember the last time I watched an old school karate movie.
My favorite one is Master Killer. That's my favorite one. And it's based off of the 36 Chambers and how he goes into the Shaolin Temple. And it's, I want to create a new chamber. There's no 36 chambers. That classic line from Wu-Tang, it's in that movie. So it's cool to reminisce when you hear those. Yeah, it's awesome.
Yeah, man.
Old school. Nothing for me beats The Last Dragon, Bruce Leroy.
Bruce Leroy. Look, Bruce Leroy is just a straight one of the all-time classic movies in general. But that was almost like a parody type of. But there's some real martial arts in there. So, but yeah, man, that's definitely right there. That's one of my favorite movies of all time.
It's classic quote lines, right? Kiss my Converse.
Yeah. I'm telling you, man.
Show enough. Yes, sir.
It's like it was trying to get satirical a little bit. Tried to go with the satire feel, but like got its cult following, and I think it helped blend cultures, which was needed. Much so, kind of like what we still need today. It was just something good that like helped bridge things together, which I liked.
Yeah, it was dope, man. It was a dope movie. Yeah, definitely an all-time movie for sure. I don't know if off the top of my head, I don't know if I could say top 20. I'm not a huge movie person. But it's definitely in the discussion for sure. Top 20 of all time for me on my list.
First job with that disc, man.
I was right there. B.I.G.
Biggie.
I have that in here somewhere. The thing is, I put all the stuff, it's all digital on like, my iPhone or whatever. So
yeah,
I mean, open years.
Hey, what's crazy? Being from Cali, like I'm born and raised San Diego. Like I was never a huge Tupac fan. I always preferred Biggie over Tupac.
You were liking the East Coast vibe.
Kind of. I was listening to both sides with the equal ear. Like I wasn't biased. So, but Biggie, I just thought Biggie's flow was a lot better than Pac's. Pac talked about some like serious shit.
Yeah.
And Biggie did too. But Biggie's flow, I just like his flow better. Tupac, Tupac is too, he get too serious and too crazy.
Just I want to know from you two guys, and I'll have a specific question for Dan also, because I know we know a little bit. I want to learn a little bit. It'll be my Q&A time. So, Mr. Bill, what is something that you love to sell that people don't know you love to sell? So, if somebody knew, like, because I know with Calvin, like I have a go-to answer for him, but I want to know something different that like he likes to sell, but like people would never take him for that.
Yeah.
Well, I'm relatively new to reselling. Only been into it about 3 months, 4 months. Late February, I started in reselling. Been watching all the videos and such. Want to get started in my own YouTube channel so people get to know me and what types of things I like to sell. So, learning from the videos, I'm picking up a lot of the hot items, things that people are selling. Shoes, in the shoes, plush, electronics, video games. A lot of new old stock. I see a lot of that stuff that Matt, part-time picker, sells. So a lot of the common items, things that I'm seeing that other folks are selling, I am picking those up. I see them at the thrift stores and the yard sales, and try to emulate what I'm seeing, and slowly kind of branching out into, hey, let's try this item. Let's get this, put it up.
Learning about something else.
I don't really have a go-to. It's kind of a hodgepodge in my listings, but trying to get that niche, something that people know me for, or get repeat customers that want to come back and see those listings. So I can't say one particular thing. I just kind of take all the ideas, mash them in when I try to remember those when I'm out thrifting, when I'm out at the yard sales, and try to make those good decisions. Again, buy this item, get it listed. Of course, I've had some really good items, and then a number of stinkers that sat there for a while, or you're just not making the kind of profits that you need. So I don't have that one go-to item yet.
No, man, don't call them stinkers. I call them shelf fillers.
There you go.
The real store, you wouldn't want like barren shelves.
True.
You got to walk by to make selection, but I try to put a positive spin on the stuff that I'm getting mad that it's sitting there. Like, it's okay, it's colorful. If it was on a shelf, you'd be like, you might pick it up. That's cool. All right, the same question for you, Calvin, because my answer for you,
Oh yeah.
I ain't got
Okay,
these yet, but
yeah. So to be honestly, like the past few months, obviously selling is just ridiculous right now, right?
Yeah.
It's everyone, you hear a lot of talk. I mean, it's pretty much like fourth quarter. I mean, you hear from the postal workers, you hear from the eBay sellers, from the eBay online buyers. I mean, you hear from everyone. So it's kind of changed. Like, I could say for a solid month, games were hot. Anything game, I was looking for. I was looking for bulk buys, looking to do big deals. Like, I was looking for it. It's gone into hats, but the reason it's gone into hats is just because I seen people out there. I seen the value in hats, and I came across some damn good hats. So it kind of worked out with the games. I seen games were hot, but once I started seeing them sell, and I knew I had some in stock in my inventory, I listed them finally, and then I went out there on the hunt for more games, and I started running into more games that were very valuable. So it's changed right now. I will say, anytime I go to a garage sale, everyone goes to a garage sale. They say, by any chance, do you have any like old video games or, stuff like that? I'm asking, hey, by any chance, do you have any older hats that smart. You have laying around? You know what I'm saying? And I still ask for games too.
Yeah.
But the reason I'm really into hats, they're easy listers, man. They're easy listers. They're easy packers. I mean,
amen.
It takes no time to list or buy, list, and sell that hat and ship it. It's a very simple process for hats.
That's so good, man. And
so it's changed. I think it's just like a season. Like, if you're a retail store, or if you're like a Macy's, or just like any high end stores, like those brands that are in those stores, when the season changes, they start selling new things. Because you adapt to whatever season. This season has just been crazy for people staying indoors, so games came in perfect.
But I think you touched on something really good, because I want to talk about a product I did put in the last video, and it was a fun tip that I heard in this podcast today. It says you need to pick up the classic timeless item. He says sometimes that's a brand, like you could focus really good on Chanel or like Gucci, and I'm just gonna do handbags because I'm gonna get to know them really well. But they're never gonna not sell, you know. They're always gonna do well. But he said or pick up on a classic line item. So like basically if you said I'm gonna work in this area, what's cool with hats, like you just said, you listed all the benefits as to how well they'll do. They sell faster than shirts, jackets.
Easy.
And guess what? There's no closed season for hats.
Nothing. No clothes.
There's
no open.
And if you learn the brands and everything else, they're not going to make them too big to fit in the box, or you got to get a different product to ship it. Like that's super, super, super smart to do. They were talking about that. What's that something you can always throw in your store? It's going to do well. It's consistent. So then when you do have your peak times of the year, you can focus on those.
Yeah. Hell
you know,
what? It's like this. It's like, so now you're just adding certain things into your arsenal. So first you go with the games. So now you know games, another easy lister. Like I could literally grab 10 games, PS3, Xbox, whatever. It's 4 pictures, front, back, open it up, and then take a close-up of the game. Sometimes I'll take a picture of the manual by itself as well.
Yeah.
Boom. Find a comp, store it, on to the next one. I can finish 10 photos, maybe if I just focus, 15, 20 minutes, and I can list them all up by selling similar. I can be done with 10 listings in an hour on games, you know. That, and it's a simple process. You don't got to change things around. It's boom, 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 boom. So the process of it is easy, and same, you know. Now same with the hats.
Well, I know Dan, you'll know this one. I love shoes, man, because shoes I think are gonna ride through for the next coming, couple years. You got collectors, you got sneakerheads, then you got your basic runner or your seasonal hiker. Shoes will be consistent. So I like my knowledge in that. But this is the weirdest item because this will relate to your question I have for you, Dan. But all day, every day.
Yarn. Oh, yeah.
Yeah. I seen you mention that the other day, and I had bought some yarn at a yard sale, and had I known that it was a good seller, a lady had boxes of it, 25 cents skein or whatever it is. And, had I known that tip before, man, I could have probably been in some money.
This is something, it's done really well, of course, in the season, but I picked up on yarn because I got it so cheap even before the whole pandemic.
Yeah.
And I was getting it so cheap because the person that is buying this is somebody older that's still buying online, that's not getting out to stores, not even in the season, but even after the season. It's easier for them to buy and have it drop off at their house. I lied to you not. In the last month, I have made larger profit dollars off of this than all the shoes I've sold.
Really?
Wow.
Good to know.
I'm getting baskets of this stuff I got a basket full of, I think, 20 schemes like this for $15. The last one I just got was $5 for 17 more. I lot them up. And then when I find loose ones, I have one right now. I have a watch on it. I had a bunch of loose leftover ones. I put 10 of them together, and I put a couple of I don't even know what the utensils called, a crook or something. And I put it on there, and I labeled it Crochet Starter Pack.
Yeah. See, I picked up yarn randomly a couple weeks ago.
Dude, guess what? This photo is so easy. I photo it like this, and a close-up on the measurements.
Hell yeah.
And I
simple listing, man.
Shipping on all of it because it will rack up. You do a bundle of 3, it'll get up to about 1.5 pounds. But dude, I'm shipping them out every week. It's consistent. I love it, man.
That's a great tip. Good to know.
All right, Dan. So the question comes to you because that is a weird one to share. Dan, the answer man, gets to see a lot of videos get to see a lot of people talk about stuff. Dan, what is the weirdest thing that you've seen somebody successfully sell, or consistently successfully sell?
Sorry, Bill, you're getting a lot of audio on your line. I couldn't hear your question, Josh.
Okay. Since you've been watching a lot of resellers and their content, what has been the oddest consistent seller that somebody's like, you know what I do really well with? It's this. Like for you that you stepped back and went, huh?
I thought you were going to ask a different question. Like, what's the weirdest thing you've seen in these reseller YouTubing, community? And I must say, I was introduced to what's his name, Tommy? Is it Ads something out of the UK? I went back and looked at that stuff. I guess it was this morning, technically, the end of your 8-hour marathon. But that guy, I need to watch some of his stuff. He does some crazy stuff. You know what I'm talking about, Calvin?
I knew he was going on with Tommy and Tracy.
Yeah.
But they know me. They know I don't stay for the whole show.
Okay.
They know that.
Well, you know what's funny? So
I fell asleep early last night.
So I was up with them for probably the first, half hour to an hour, and I went to bed. And then I woke up really early this morning because I tend to wake up early anyway. And I jumped on and I'm like, what? These guys are still going? And they were like at the 7-hour plus mark. And I'm like, wow. But Ads was on there. And I remember Tommy talking about this crazy guy who was having sextuplets and they dare him to do stuff and they pull cards and stuff. And he does all these crazy charades, if you will. And I was like, oh my gosh. So I watched some of them and I was dying. So that's the craziest thing I've seen. But to get back to your question, Josh.
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, nothing really surprises me, because I'm like, well, it makes sense because there's a buyer for anything, for the most part. So you just have to have the right thing, So, but I think, people who buy stuff in bulk and they just kill it on the volume. I mean, that kind of stuff is cool to see because most people who buy stuff, they don't get a ton of a single item, right? Or, multiples of a single. They tend to just find one thing at a thrift and they can flip it and get some good margins. But if you can find a good deal on a big lot of stuff, so that's I think that's the interesting part to me.
And that's something I've been right now making goals, man. I was like, if you guys haven't seen Daily Refinement, check him out. The dude is just business savvy. He's smart.
Yeah.
He shared on there his most recent podcast. He said, all right, in 10 years, are you still going to be the one to make a buck running through a thrift store, or when do you want to retire? He goes, and how will you retire if you're still finding stuff to sell it the next week? He goes, what's going to be your eternal revenue stream? What's going to keep you rolling, Or do you have to keep doing this because you can't take a day off?
Who said that? Daily Refinement?
Chris, Daily Refinement, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, he'd be going deep sometimes. But I mean, yeah, you gotta think about to me it's not so much like I don't think about retirement so much because the way I look at it is like if I'm having fun, then I'll continue to do it.
Oh, me too.
But I'm looking to venture. Like I'm looking to use reselling as just another platform to take me down other avenues, man. Like I'm an entrepreneur at heart. It's the funnest shit in the world. So and other shit, man, other ventures is what I'm trying to do.
And I like, and the reason I bring it up, Dan, is because that was one of his things he talked about. He said, yes, taking it to scale, but he goes, all right, so let's say you even stuck with the mindset of thrifting to list to sell, right? He says, what can you humanly possible do in a week? How many listings can you humanly possibly do? And he was like, what, 100? He said, cool. He said, you get 100 listings in a week and you make this profit margin. He goes, what if you had 2 employees that could do 100 and you only paid them 20 hours a week? He says, and then you spent your time going and finding source material. He goes, you just doubled your sales with the same profit margin. You got to pay 2 employees with no insurance, find you 2 20-hour college kids.
Yeah.
And now go buy your $5,000 bulk purchase.
Yeah. That's fire. I mean, yeah, that's ultimately so scaling the reselling business is definitely something I think about. I don't want to ever get to the point to where like maybe hiring 1 or 2 employees, you know what I'm saying? But again, it's, I don't know, it really just depends on, because I don't know if does he have any other ventures outside of reselling?
Yeah. And that's why he does it. The reason I like it is because he's like, I want to build this up to where it's a viable business platform to where if I handed it off to somebody could actually pay him for the store,
yeah,
the organization, the sourcing connections. They could actually buy a business from him, and he can go launch XYZ venture. So he's doing those other things on the side. I mean, I wasn't focusing on his sales number. It was more so he was like, I just hired nine more employees. And I was like, you just hired 9 employees? But he's like, yes, because at 20 hours, if I work a full-time job, he says, if you're a full-time, you know, in the full-time workplace, you can only put about 15 to 20 hours in this business. Yeah. So why not pay 5 people to put 20 hours in? Your 20 hours gets to be devoted in starting whatever you want. Yeah, he was like, if you can only do this much, what could 5 other people that you pay hourly do this? And he goes, all right, what's the loss? They find out that they're really good at this and they leave you and do it. Cool, go get you another college student.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, yeah, man.
Yes.
I mean, this resale game is definitely, you can definitely scale it to, you know, another level. Definitely another level.
But yeah, and I just think about it because I do want to get to that level. Like, I start small. Everybody's kind of like, well, why do you stick with this? It's because I want to learn from others' mistakes, but also my own mistakes.
Yeah.
I want to go through that. I don't want to jump the gun. I don't want to like bum rush into pallet purchases, and you know, I think I will in due time. I think I really will. I want to have the capital saved up to where it's like, cool, I can go buy 3 pallets. Not, all right, I'm all in on 1 pallet and I hope it's good.
Yeah.
I think that's what's chasing a lot of resellers out of the game, because they watched the video and then they said, cool, I'm going to go try it.
Yeah, I don't know him, Josh, but what you're saying and what I'm reading from Tommy, it almost seems like he has a ton of ideas. And Tommy, I think, said it, you know, if you can be a really smart person, but if you're not focused and you can't be consistent, and if you're going to hire people, you can't treat your people like commodities. I mean, literally, if you're going to hire somebody just to do a job and you're like, they're dispensable, does anybody want to work for a boss or, you know, employer who's doing that? I mean, like I said, I don't know the person, but based on what I'm hearing,
I'm not, if nothing else, I'm telling you to go check him out, to take his ideas that he's not following through with. I like journaling out, and like, he's probably taking it to a scale that he's not paying enough attention to it. But it instantly planted the seed in my head that said, okay, what time next year could I afford to hire one other person who now puts out double the input of what I can put into this?
Yeah.
Would I not want to kick them $200 a week, $300 a week, and treat them good?
Yeah.
Teach them if they want to learn. Now I've turned my production into twice as many sales, twice as many finds. I was like, man, why? You know, this is a lot of fun, and you hit it on the head, Kelly. You hit it on the head as well. It's fun to go find this stuff. Like that's the crazy high you get, man. When dude, I was getting high off your videos of you showing me them hats you found, bro. I was like, oh my gosh, I need that yard set. Like, I need that.
Hey, real life, bro. Here's how you get lucky. Now, of course, you know, from the topic you first started with, as far as like, you know, the whole death power and you doing your challenge of not going sourcing, like, the more you source, but you definitely got to get your listings up. But the more you source, the more opportunities you have to find more shit.
Yeah.
And that's just simple as that, man. Like, I'm going to more garage sales than everyone else in my area. And so the people that are possibly looking for the same shit as me, I'm beating them to it.
Yeah.
And I'm learning so many new categories, which it's a gift and a curse, because I will say this. I've been eyeballing a little too much glass lately.
Yeah.
And and I know it could be worth money, but I've been I'm eyeballing and buying too much glass lately.
Yeah.
Not anything crazy, nothing big, but I'm just like, you know, I'm a little more into it, and I probably should slow it down just a little bit on the glass. But everything else, man.
Ooh, I definitely want to touch on some of these. So my plan, my original reason for getting into reselling, I love doing it. I love the flip. I love the challenge. Like, totally. But it's my wife helps me out with a lot of this. She can't put in as much time as I even do. I take naps like as soon as I get home from work, so I can stay up late and list.
Mm-hmm.
She's actually logs into the eBay app, looks up all the comp information, puts all the descriptions in. All I do is take photos now and list. Like, she helps out a lot. We want to create enough revenue to where she is, quote unquote, technically the first employee.
Yeah.
Her job, she can cut down to 2 days a week. All the insurance is through my job. All the benefits are through my job. She will actually be able to devote to listing, packing, receiving, that whole end of it, and free me up to source and to, you know, and then I do want to branch that into another full-time employee that maybe they will focus on storage auctions or bulk liquidation lots. I have a lot of fun in the thrift and the yard sale. I do. But I want somebody else. I want to find somebody that I can pay to say, you're really good at buying a bunch of bulk stuff and getting a good negotiating deal. That's your job. Go do it. Go do it. Go do it. And then I'd love the complaint from my wife going, all right, I don't have enough time to do this. Can I get some extra help? And it's in due time. This is not a 3-month get rich quick scheme. No, this is kind of like, I want to increase as the need comes through, as the requirement comes through, because the revenue's there. You know, my overhead is paid off. I'm able to handle this capacity. Do I have storage for this capacity? So it's definitely something that, you know, I want to do step by step. But
hell yeah. Do you plan on going? Do you get? Oh, sorry, Dan.
No, go ahead, please.
Go ahead.
Finish. I was going to change something.
Do you plan on going full time or what?
That's tough. That's really tough.
That almost leads into the question I was going to ask. Because, you know, you asked about, you know, I watch a lot of videos. I'm not a reseller, right? So, but I'm a very observant person. I like to just take it all, and I'm about learning. And to me, I notice these kind of dynamics with resellers. I see a lot of resellers who are either part-time, so they have a full-time job, and they have benefits, because benefits, medical benefits, like that can be very expensive. If you have a family, kids to support, everything, right? It can be very trying on you if you were doing reselling full-time, because then how do you pay for your benefits? What do you do, right? So I see a lot of spouses or other people who they have their spouse has a full-time job, so they can be on the spouse's benefits, or they're a part-time reseller, so they can be on their own and just do this, you know what I mean? So that's a kind of a combination and stuff. So I was curious if does anybody that does it full-time, I mean, are they just killing it where they can pay for their own, you know, benefits, or they don't have benefits? I mean, I'm just curious, you know, what people are doing.
Can I speak? Because I'm actually in full-time.
Go ahead, Calvin.
So for me, man, it really just depends on your situation. So let me try to sum it up as best as I can. So I've been since me and my wife been married, I kind of been bouncing from sales job to one sales job, and making decent money. But she's always had the mindset of working 30 years for a company, retire, live on a pension, just like her dad. So you fast forward till now, and it's kind of been the same routine for me. And she knew I was always, I'm an entrepreneur. I had a failed detailing business, a headlight restoration business. Like, I failed a few times. And it came to the point to where now she works at UPS, and she had an opportunity to be a driver. Benefits are amazing, you know, pension, all that stuff. So she was like, look, babe, why don't we switch roles? You know, as long as you can make up what I was making as a part-timer at UPS, let me go full-time. Let me take this opportunity, because for me, this is a great opportunity for our family. And she was like, you're doing good part-time on eBay. You might as well, you know, let's see what you can do full-time. And that's what I wanted to do anyways. So I'm like, fuck it. So, you know, it took a lot at first because pride. You know, you're the man. You want to provide. You want to be the breadwinner.
Mm-hmm.
But you got to think happiness too. So doing that full time, I'm leaving a lot of money on the table. I could go sell cars, do whatever, and I'm great at sales. I could sell a lot and make a lot of money. But fuck that, man. I'd rather be happy. And the hardest part of my job of being a full time reseller is taking care of my damn kids. That's the hardest full time job I've ever had, bro. So it really just depends. Like I don't need to bring much money into my household. My wife has that.
Right.
I need to bring in $1,200 a month. I've surpassed that, and I could surpass it even more. But I'm doing other things too, man. She's happy. I'm happy. Household is happy. So it depends on your circumstance.
Yeah.
Everybody's circumstance ain't going to be the same.
Exactly. Everything's situational, right? You do what works for your family. You do whatever you can do to take care of yourself.
Yeah. Hell yeah.
Exactly. Where I see both of that, because there's a large reselling community that is not on YouTube.
Huge.
That are, I kid you not, they're doing 1,000 listings a week. They're staffed to the core. They're probably on a level where they're, sometimes you see a little bit of the Daily Refinements numbers.
Mm-hmm.
I think he pumps 10,000 a month. I mean, and that's just on like, I think he runs 6 stores.
Yeah.
Something like that.
That's crazy.
He keeps them all specified. So
Yeah.
I think you hit it on the head. It's where you want to take that scale. Of course, what I do for my full-time job, man, it's more of like a calling. It's something I would never want to give up there. Like it really isn't.
What field is it in?
I'm a full-time pastor, man.
Dude. Well, yeah, that's awesome.
And that's what I said. I like, and I'm an online pastor, so I do this with people all over the world. And, and it's like, if the two worlds ever combine to where, and I love doing this, man. I jump on Emily Conway's because I want to help people. I want to help people that feel like they're stuck alone and they just need a smile, a pick me up, or something. You know,
definitely
being able to help people. That's on my heart, number one, all the time.
Bro, I just want to add into what you're saying. Like, that's your job, bro. Your job as a pastor is to make people feel better about life.
Yeah. What's to give people hope, man? There's not a lot of hope that's being shared out there right now.
Yeah, you got a lane, bro. You got a lane.
Yeah.
For your content, like, to put that out there, bro. So you and Rev Resale. Yeah. You guys got a lane, bro.
I love what he does. But for me, it would have to definitely be a thing where so many things fell in line. And I'm not gonna lie, that's a huge one. Health insurance, man.
Yeah.
For yourself and a family and things like that.
Yeah.
That's a huge line item that has to be met on a consistent basis before I could ever get an employee. Like right now, because the insurance is with my job, it's no problem if sales are compensating my wife's payroll, because then you could focus more time on the business, which then produces more revenue, which is great. Yeah. Household bills are met, things like that are met, savings accounts are built. So it would definitely have to be a whole lot of things lining up for me to say, hey, I'm walking away. And I'd probably do what a good buddy of mine, his name's Alex Dion Wilson. Bro started Instagram church, bro. He calls it Insta Church.
There you go.
For 10 minutes on Thursday nights. He's like, hey, bro, going to give you a challenging word. Here's what you think. God bless you. Have a good day. And I love it. He's taking it out of the box of a building in a this. He's like, I'm going to take church to people however they can get it. If those doors kind of opened up and things like that, sure, I'd love to go, quote unquote, full time in this. But I'd love to give more opportunity to people to get jobs, to learn about this, to inspire them to maybe even do it themselves. So I could still pursue what I think will combine is a reselling community with a community that wants to be generous and show gratitude and knock down racial walls, barriers of economic status. And I want to see this community do that. And that's kind of what I've been wanting to do with like showing gratitude with people and appreciating people and joking and having fun and So I'm like, I feel like my lane will go that way.
Yeah.
Reselling will be a way that it happens, but I'd love to be able to devote time to say, like, I slept in today and I went to Goodwill and I found a $300 DVD, combo unit. And I got to talk to this awesome lady who was telling me that she was having a tough time today. And I got to stop because I had the time to talk with her for 10 minutes and let her know that, there's still great things to come. Don't look at the end of the tunnel. I'd love to be able to do that. But it's going to take hard work and dedication and time and focus. And
yeah, man, it end of the day, yeah. I mean, Dan, just to kind of sum it up, yeah, it depends, bro. It really just depends on your situation, your household, man. It's not a cookie cutter situation,
Yeah, there's never one answer that's going to apply to everybody. That's for sure.
I
think the really ironic part about this, and Josh, you talked about this on Emily's, mental health show with loneliness and so forth. Not being a reseller, but I enjoy the community.
I love it, man.
I was introduced to this by Uncle B. Jimmy. He's a good friend. He got me into this. He's like, you should check out these guys. You should see this guys. And I'm like, hey, I'm all about meeting new people, learning, and so forth. But you know what the most ironic part about this whole thing, and I'm gonna sound really crazy talking to a bunch of either resellers or people that resell for a living.
Do it, man.
I cannot stand garage sales or thrift stores at all. I know it probably hurts everybody, but growing up,
your first video, bro. Like, you just need to be a video like, I'm the biggest reseller fan, but I hate where y'all go.
Bro, hey, garage sales, bro. I'm not even gonna lie. Garage sales is at the top of the most funnest things I've ever done in my life, bro. Real life shit, man.
Because you guys go through the process, and you have that natural high of finding this hidden gem that you're going to be able to flip and make some money out of it, right?
Bro, it's adrenaline, bro. It really is.
Explain some more, Dan. Like, explain. Like, what drives you crazy about it?
So, I mean, I'm in a different situation, right? My wife and I both, have good careers. We both went to college. We're more the typical, we're sitting all right. And so for me, the way I spend my time is not going to be out just hunting for something to try to make money, right?
Yep.
So, if you have some money, you're not out there searching for money. You're out there for trying to find other ways to be happy. And I'm a big time golfer. I enjoy golfing. I don't want to go rummage through a bunch of stuff to hope I find something. I want to I want to research, know what I want, and just go get it. If that means going to buy a vehicle, going to go golf, it means going to go buy a pair of shoes. I want instant satisfaction.
And you know what?
Ultimately.
Hey, man, everybody does, though. Everybody wants that instant satisfaction.
But Calvin, you'll agree, we would be nowhere without Dan's.
What started?
Because guess what, man? When you go get your new golf equipment and you get rid of your old stuff.
Oh, I have all my friends have all my old equipment.
Exactly.
Well, not all of my old equipment, but they're like, hey, Dan, it's a new season. What driver do you have now? What are you gonna do with your old driver? Or your old irons or whatever. Yeah. They find a home very quickly.
And like, my circle of people are people that are living very comfortable, have good jobs, finances are great through the pandemic, all that. And they tell me the number one thing, and it's right on par with what you're saying. They're like, I love what you do, man. That is so cool. But guess what? I don't have the patience, and I'm not going to go do it. I'm going to order the item that I want, and I'm going to get it.
Yeah.
And I go, thank you, because you're going to get rid of the other one. Before you go to Goodwill, hit me up.
Of course.
Yeah.
Hit me up.
Of course. And Uncle B, Jimmy, I know, since I know he's my closest, most convenient reseller, I'll say, Jimmy, I don't want this anymore. Do you want it? You know what I mean? He's like the first line. So he skips the whole thrift store yard sale. He just comes over to Dan's house.
All right. I lie to you not, man. I went to, because my buddy, if he's watching this, he's going to get mad at me. He's been cutting my hair, but I ran the sports clips because I was like, I need to go somewhere. He was busy. I ran in. Dude sits down 2 seats down from me. We're 6 feet apart. Guy's rocking a pair of Kohans. Okay. I said, bro, I like them shoes, man. Those are the wingtips.
Yeah.
I said, I have a gray pair at home. I didn't say I have a gray pair that I'm reselling right now, but I said, I have a gray pair at home. I said, hey, man, You seem like you got good style. What do you do with all your old shoes? He said, I usually just take them to Goodwill.
Oh, bruh.
I said, hey, bro, you want to take my number, man? I collect shoes. I'd love to take some of them shoes off your hands.
You want to hear a sad story?
But
So
we need people that do that. We do.
Yep.
Hell yeah.
No question.
Hell yeah.
So we bought this house back in September. So last summer, Jimmy, remind me, I think it was last summer. We have it every year, like around Father's Day or whatever. We have a neighborhood garage sale in my old neighborhood.
Yeah.
So my wife and I spent like a month decluttering and getting ready because we knew we had talked about moving and so forth. And so we had so much stuff, clothes, I mean, you name it. And so it was a single day yard sale, half a day at best.
Yeah.
And, whatever sold, we were selling stuff for quarters, dollars just to get rid of stuff, and stuff just didn't sell. And so we just took it and donated it all. Jimmy, if I'd have known Jimmy was reselling at the level he is today, he could have taken all that and he would have had stuff for days, Yeah. I know it probably hurts Jimmy to hear me say it.
That hurt me, bro.
The sad part is we were planning just to do a tax write-off of donations.
Yeah.
Man.
So this year we filed, they're like, none of this qualifies.
Yep.
Because of tax brackets and changes in tax structures and so forth. So it all went for donation for nothing for me, other than just saying, someone else could use it. So
my
a good gesture.
My first big haul, like I said, I started first week of February, officially like launching the store. I flipped all the time on Facebook Marketplace and doing little stuff here and there. But I officially launched in February, and I keep this away from like my church community because I don't want them to think I'm like, it's a pretty large church. I don't want to leverage the church community into like, go subscribe or go check out my store. I never do that. So like my personal friends, stuff like that. My first big score was from somebody I took on a mission trip with me. She said, my sister passed away. I'm taking over the whole house. Your wife, my wife, yes. She shared my first YouTube video and says, hey, go support my husband. And I was like, please don't do that. Like, but she reached out to me and she said, Josh, I love what you're doing. My sister sat at home. She was disabled, and all she did was buy stuff off of QVC and Amazon all day. She says, will you come over, go through the basement, and give me an offer? And I went over there, and I was like, I didn't know what to expect. And it's things like that. And she now has subbed to the channel. I think I got everything. I've talked about it in a few videos. Everything comped out. I got over 300 items at 74 cents each is what it ended up my breakdown being. I've made that back 5-fold already. And I still have stuff I haven't listed. And she hits me up and she goes, are you ready for round 2? Got more. I haven't even gone through the attic. And she goes, I love what you're doing, what you're teaching, the way you're helping. And I was like, without people that don't want it, she says, I know I could do all this. I just don't want to take the time. I mean, brand new in the package, product, material, everything. And she goes, I don't have the time, but I love that you're doing it and you want to teach somebody else how to do it. And so now I became a resource more so than her yard sale or a Goodwill haul. And I'm like,
there are a lot of people out there.
A Rolodex of stuff like that. Because guess what? She knows 5 other people that I don't, because she's getting older in life, that are going to get rid of stuff in the next 5 years.
Hell yeah.
I'm like,
definitely
hit your boy up. Like,
that's an interesting thing. And I imagine there's businesses or people who provide that service, right? Come to my house and just take stuff away. Because most of the time, if you call those 1-800 junk haul away places or whatever, they're going to charge you to remove stuff from your house, right?
That's the other thing about Daily Refinement. I'm not giving him a plug because he's paying me, okay? He interviews some of the smartest business people. There's a video that I saved. I'll try to link it to both of you guys. He's talking to this other guy who's like, he was interviewing him, asking him questions, and this dude's scale of reselling is at a whole new level. This guy, he goes, I don't go to thrift stores unless I want to have fun.
Yeah.
He goes, I have a warehouse and I send guys and they look for estate sales. And then he looks for the date of the estate sale. He knows that estate companies come in 4 days prior to the sale, and he shoots them an email and he goes, I'll give you $3,000 and I'll be there with a 24-foot truck. You don't have to sticker anything. buys the estate, brings it back to a warehouse. Those 3 guys source it. What goes to an antique booth? What goes on eBay? What goes to a flea market? And he goes, I do that for 4 estates a month. And I was like, what? I was like, and he found those connections because Crazy Lamp Lady actually shared this. She said she started to feel bad because she found a carnival glass bowl at a yard sale one time.
Mm-hmm.
She knew it was worth money, and the guy said, give me $5 for it.
Yeah.
And she started to feel bad because she's like, if these people knew what they had. When her business grew so well, she started an estate sale business because she wanted to give people the opportunity to get money for what they had. Her first 7 calls were, how much can you take? And then she goes, you called me, don't you want to sell it? And they said, no. Can you give us $1,500 and take it all? People don't want to take the time. And if they do want to take the time, that's because they want to make a quick buck because they know what it's worth. She said, everybody else, she said, I stopped feeling bad for people because they were giving me households of things. They didn't want to deal with it.
That's how I am. If there's stuff that's just sitting around, I'd rather just give it away, have someone take it away, than me putting forth extra work to get rid of it. And even if it means for me to make some money by putting the work in, it's not worth my time. Bottom line.
Look at Jimmy.
I feel you, bro. I feel you all the way.
Jimmy's throwing those Fiesta wear bolos.
Fiesta wear.
I know. Everybody's going to look it up now.
Hey, but Josh, you kind of, during all that, man, you touched, kind of like you leading, you have to have the everything laid out, kind of like the process and everything lined up. Like one of the things for sure, before you go full time, unless you just live scot-free, like if you're a teenager in high school, I think teenagers in high school who have the mindset and have the brain enough to operate a business, they're the perfect candidates to start out on eBay with zero capital, zero anything, because they don't have any expenses and they could literally just grow their business.
Yeah.
But if you're, older than that and you got a family and bills and expenses and stuff, before you can go full time, unless, again, before you go full time, you got to have some capital built up.
Yeah.
A decent amount too. Not anything crazy, but you got to have enough capital not only to cover your part of whatever the expenses are, but you also got to be able to get inventory. And now you're probably going to have to get a lot more inventory because now you're going to be listing a lot more stuff.
That's so good, man. I forgot who said it. They were actually in a live and they were like, all right, so suppose I want to go full time. They says, all right, here's your requirements. You need $1,000 that you can throw away, and you have to be a part timer for at least 2 years because you got to pay taxes your first year. And I was like,
hell yeah,
good advice. He's like,
not only that, but you need to have the capital to invest and the space to store all the stuff. That's what kills me when I see so much stuff just sitting in homes or whatever. I'm like, I don't want my house to look like that.
I know you showed me your office last time. Dad's like, I'm a minimalist. I don't need all this stuff in here.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, this is my office.
Yeah.
See how much floor I have?
That's a lot of clear area.
Yeah. And that's the way that the rest of my house looks.
Yeah. I was supposed to be, we did the practice ceremony for my niece. She's getting married tomorrow. And then the rest of the conversation is how well can I insulate a shed? I need it to be climate controlled.
Yeah.
Like what's her name? Uniquely You? Is that her name?
Yeah.
No, that's Tracy. That's Uniquely Me. There's another person, Your Best You. Is that right? Where she has her little she shed with the AC in there and all climate controlled.
Yep.
All right, Tracy.
I'm telling you though, I'm like, there's a lot of criteria to go full time, of course. I just think it's good for people to write out their goals and get realistic possibilities, because I don't think you should go into it thinking it can be fun. I love the fun aspect of it, but it's like, all right, if you get to a day that's no fun, wouldn't you still love this to be able to produce for you? Or because you want to start a new revenue stream, you can allow yourself to have the time to pursue that other revenue stream. Wouldn't you still love this to persistently and consistently produce X amount of dollars that works for you, you know?
Yeah, once that machine's going, that's one thing. But I think when, starting, you can have all the drive and all the ambition, but if you don't have the, the knowledge to be able to plan and to set, something in action and then actually execute, you can only be lucky so much, right? Because luck runs out, and on average, you're not going to be lucky. You're not always going to find stuff. So you got to have a plan. Yeah. One of my customers always used to tell me, a failure to plan is a plan to fail, right? Yeah. If you don't have something set, you're just going to be wandering wherever. You don't have a true end goal in mind. And the end goal can't just be, I want to make money. You can just say that, but how do you do that?
I love stumbling and tripping over things all day. Yeah, that's me getting out of my office.
Yeah, I know you're being funny, Tracy, and maybe there's truth to it too. But one of my customers one time, they had a bunch of clutter in their room, and his wife got out of bed, and she didn't know something was there, tripped and stepped awkwardly, and she had a spiral fracture that went up her entire femur. Oh, so be careful about tripping.
Yes. But man, I think it's so true. Does anybody know this fun fact? What's the average lifespan of a reseller on eBay?
Damn, they actually got a statistic of that?
Yeah.
You're talking like in months, years? Because it can't be very long.
45 days.
Yeah, I was going to say 6 months at most.
They say it's usually about 7 out of 10 people that'll try it, especially ones that are using eBay or Mercari. Mm-hmm. They never upgraded their store, so if they actually pursued listing more than 50 items, they stopped as soon as they got charged for a listing. Mm-hmm. And then you get your first bill 15 days. And they say everybody deletes their store because they don't want to pay the bill after they made money.
Yeah.
And they're like, well, I'll just keep selling this like on Facebook where I ain't got to pay fees, and then you only sell like 2 items a week, at the most. But they were so many people are jumping into this, especially through this pandemic we've been through, because everybody, and it's smart. If you can stick with it, if you would have grabbed 5 things out of your closet, you probably could have made $25, $50, Everybody had the possibility to do it. Nobody wanted to follow up with the steps on what it was going to consistently take. Mm-hmm. Not enough people, I'm guilty too, not enough people are sharing what their eBay bill was after their incredible sales month, And a lot of people got all this hope of money going out. I learned this from, which they stuck with it. They had the capital, like you were saying, Calvin. My sister and brother-in-law, he's like, bro, I just paid $400 to eBay. Mm-hmm. And he was like, where did that come from? And I said, what were your sales?
Yeah.
And did you buy enough stuff that was good margin? Mm-hmm. Or do you feel like you lost? And he said, because he was on that nonstop sourcing train, it actually came out still in the negative going into my next one.
Yeah.
And if he didn't have the capital, guess what he would do? Fold up shop. Even though he had a great month, he would fold up shop.
Yeah, man. I think a lot of people fool themselves, right? Because they're trying to encourage themselves. They're trying to get going. And a lot of videos I see are, look at this great thing I found, but what about the, 199 other things you didn't, that didn't work out well, or you barely made enough money to cover the cost of whatever you put into it. You know what I mean?
Yep. Yeah.
So, yeah.
It's like when you first start, you got to kind of have a goal before you get started in the reselling. You got to have a goal. And my goal, of course, was I wanted to get more money. I wanted to make more money. Yeah. And at the time I was working at Verizon. When I first started, I was working at Verizon, doing very, very well, especially living in the middle of Iowa. Our expenses are low as shit. We're coming from San Diego, so it's a complete different atmosphere. So it's just, we're doing the things as far as living comfortably, and we didn't have to make as much, but I was doing solid for myself. And so I was able to just stack everything. I didn't have to touch my eBay money at all for a whole year, And my excitement grew for it throughout that whole year. But see, it was money. I wanted to make $500 extra a month.
Yeah.
But overall, the grand scheme of things, I was just looking for some entrepreneurial to do because, while I was working at the same time. And that was the perfect thing. originally I was looking into getting in like a e-commerce, like a Shopify store. Like I had looked into that,
Mm-hmm.
you know, before and certain things like that. And then I just ran across selling stuff on eBay. And then I kind of just took it and ran with it, man. And it's you know, it's just fun to shit. But I don't look, man, I don't look to make I'm not looking to make 6 figures off of reselling at all, man.
Right.
Like that's not what I want out of reselling. I know that's kind of like a fancy, you know, kind of in the sky fantasy type of number. People want, like, I want to make $1 million, or I want to make, you know, 100,000. Like, I think 100,000 is attainable. I'm fine with making 50 to 60,000, and that's going to take, you know, a decent amount of work. But that's all I really need to make. But I'm trying to do other shit. Excuse my French. I'm trying to do other stuff, man. Yep. You throw me off because you said you was a pastor and I had no clue. So I'm trying to keep it like respectful now.
You're trying to censor yourself.
I'm fine with it. It's real. It's just I'm not monetized, so you're okay.
Yeah.
You're good.
Yeah. And I would know better if you're monetized for sure. I definitely wouldn't do that. But.
Like Tommy's comment, all I'm gonna respond with Tommy is yes, there are, Tommy. I'm not name dropping.
Yeah.
But my buddy is a pretty prominent YouTuber, and he was even telling me, he said this niche of reselling is gaining a lot of traction.
Yeah.
I think like the largest resellers are at like 220, maybe 225. Yeah. There's no million sub resellers, you know, like the rest of the entertainment industry.
Yeah.
And, there's a lot of people that I think are intertwined in this community that don't have a lot of sales, but have a lot of content, I'll say.
Yeah, bro.
That I'm
you know
like,
what's interesting? Oh, you know what I was going to say about the whole money thing, right?
Yeah.
Successful billion-dollar companies, you know what their kind of operating margins are? They're like in the 20, maybe 30% range. Yep. And that's good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So to put it into perspective, if you're making 100K reselling, that means you're only actually having a net revenue of 20 to 30K. Could you, you know, that's your take home, right?
Yep.
Could you afford your bills and, you know, pay whatever you need to with that amount?
Right.
You know what I mean? So a lot of people say, oh, I made all this money, but how much are you actually putting in? Are you doing the true, accurate calculations?
She said it right here. Everybody likes to say their sales number, not their profit number.
Yep. Yep. And that's, I think Tommy always brings that up. And I think it's a good point because everybody sees that shiny object.
Yep.
What does it really take? What is that shiny object really worth? Because at the end of the day, how much money are you bringing in? You know, yes, you can't really put a price on happiness and, you know, the fun of doing it and so forth. But if you're doing it to support yourself, you have to make money.
Yeah. So here's a couple points on that. So it definitely is to, you know, kind of entice people to look at your content. You know, I'm a fan of What Sold videos.
100%.
I will say I haven't done like a What Sold video in like 2 weeks, and I became conscious of it because I was like, in what other, like, where are you going to go in the world that you're just going to go up to someone and be like, hey, how much money you make? You know, what are you bringing in? What's your income?
Yeah.
So it's cool to show certain aspects. The last couple of videos I did do of What Sold, I didn't show a total at the end. I did it more as a bolo type of thing.
Yep.
Yeah.
Here's what I bought it at. Here's what it sold for.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think, you know, again, there's like the route, like because YouTube is a business too. And so if you look at YouTube as a business, you do gotta, you're producing like a TV show. You are your own TV show.
Exactly.
And certain things get the views and certain things are going to give you that more money. It just depends on your lane and what lane you want to be in. I don't think there's a right or wrong, but yeah, I mean,
I agree 100%. Like, I think if you're doing this, it needs to be, if you want to be good at it, you can still be authentically you. I don't think we should change.
100%.
You can take great ideas. Me and Emily talked about this. You need to be consistently like striving for goals. You don't have to compare. You don't have to make it to be like somebody else. If you're you should get an audience. You should get a paycheck from YouTube. Let that be a secondary stream, of course.
let's be real.
Yep.
How many of us content creators are on YouTube because we just want to be on YouTube? Yeah, but it's fun. But ultimately, I'm trying to get a check. If I could get a check from YouTube one day, that would be dope. That would be awesome, bro.
Yeah,
and there's YouTubers that make.
Yeah. If you can get paid for what you enjoy, that's the ultimate job.
Yep.
Bro, come on now.
All right, I want to address 2 of these comments. Andy said, "Stop talking about him." Bank's been calling him saying he's got too much cash. And uniquely me, I'm gonna brag on my church for a second. They would absolutely love Calvin.
Yeah, you know that.
Everybody loves Calvin.
One of our values, one of our straight up values of our church is no perfect people allowed. If you're perfect, you're in the wrong place because you ain't messed up like the rest of us.
I guess I can't go to your church, Josh. Sorry.
Dan's got the answers.
Yeah, but I mean, you know what? No matter what kind of content you create, just like no matter what kind of product you buy to sell on eBay or whatever platform you use, like there's an audience for everything. There's a customer for everything. You know what I mean? So you got to find your niche and go down that lane, whether I like it or I don't like it. You know, that's not for me to decide. You're doing your thing. You're making your content. You know, just. If you don't like it, don't watch it. You know what I'm saying? Or if you like it, watch it.
We shared that as a sermon illustration. We're like, as much as that parents will complain about what's on TV, that there's too much, sex or violence or this, and they're like, man, what you're exposing to kids? And they're like, wait, don't parents know how to control a remote?
Easy, bro.
They're like, if you don't like it, turn it off.
Most parents don't have a remote. They just put the tablet in front of the kid, and that's what's watching the child.
And that's what they're saying. It's the same thing as what Calvin's saying. I definitely tune people out that I'm just like, all right, let's all take a vote. I never want Matt, part-time picker, to change. I never do. He's not exciting. He doesn't do crazy edits. The bro is a teacher of information. All right, I'm not going to him to be like, whoa, yeah. I don't want him to change. But guess what? If I were to think he was boring, you know what I do? I turn him off, and I turn on somebody else who's going to be exciting. It's all on what your flavor is, what you're there for. Are you there for entertainment? I have entertainment videos, dude. There's a bunch of resellers that non-resellers that I watch because I want to laugh, or it's a competition, or you ever seen the Marvel races? Bro, I'm like, man, I've been following since they were at 30,000 subs, man. They're over 1 million now.
Yeah.
But I love that point, man. It's like when you can do this and get a paycheck for something you love. I love, Dan's the prime example. I love connecting with people, learning their story, seeing where they're from. Bro, I wouldn't trade this for anything, man. I love it.
Hey, Matt. Hey, part-time picker though. Here's why he's dope, man. And he honestly, Matt's in that lane of what sold, bro, because that's the highlight of his videos.
Yep.
You go to him when we're watching him when he's going to thrift stores or garage sales, and we all know him for finding that oddball stuff. You going into the cracks and corners, and he's finding decon and freaking duct tape from 1983. You know, he's finding stuff like that. But he's finding it, and he's showing us this stuff is selling. So at the end, he'll show his sales numbers and stuff like that. But because his proof is, I'm gonna show you what I'm buying, but I'm gonna show you I'm not just buying it for jokes and giggles. This stuff is selling as soon as I'm getting it.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? It's
like I can go to somebody else, and this is not a knock on somebody who's got great editing skills. I was talking about Andy. I love Andy Meta's editing skills. I love it.
Definitely in the reselling niche, and I haven't checked everyone out, but as far as I know who edits their own videos, he's probably number one.
Right.
Just off the top of my head.
All right.
As far as editing goes, he's very like cinematic.
Yeah. Who's got better sound bites than Tesla Picker?
Tesla got his lane too.
That's what I'm saying. I love it. Because if it wasn't for me, if I wanted more teaching, I'd go find 5 other Matts. You know what I'm saying?
Josh, I have the answer. Who has better sound bites?
All right, Dan.
Calvin, the RZA.
Oh yeah, the RZA.
Sorry.
RZA is my favorite Wu-Tang artist, by the way.
Sorry, I had to throw it in there. Go ahead, Josh. Ruined your flow.
No, you're good. I was reading the comments. I was like, yeah. Tommy said people don't watch reselling edits for the content for the edits.
Well, did you see Tommy's comment? I'm so fascinated by people who watch reselling content that don't resell. Me too, Tommy.
No, man.
But it's different.
That's been a fun niche on like some of the lives and stuff I've had. I've had a lot of people who don't resell at all. They wanted to have good conversation. They wanted to talk with somebody because, dude, the first time that I did my live and I was throwing out mods, man, I was throwing them out left and right. And somebody, they said, man, thank you so much. I've never been a mod on anybody's channel. And I was like,
nice.
I was like, bro, that person I can now connect with and chat with every single time.
Oh yeah.
I made a connection with somebody who just said, I just want to chat. I just want to see how life is. I want to, I've talked with Dan now this is our second live kind of doing this together, but just in the chat on learning what Dan does, where he's from, how long he's been married. I've got to learn some cool stuff on somebody across the globe because of the extension cord of what reselling has done.
Yeah.
I love that, man.
Well, I mean, what Tommy was saying about like he's fascinated on resellers or non-resellers watching reselling content. It's kind of like if you're watching Pawn Stars. Pawn Stars is a reselling type of show.
Yeah.
Or what's the other one? The Pickers.
American Pickers. Yeah.
American Pickers. Like I used to watch those type of shows. You get into them. I had no intentions on ever reselling.
Yeah.
So most people now are not watching TV. They're on their phones watching YouTube or whatever else they want to watch. And so they just see something and you start going down rabbit holes.
Yep.
You go down rabbit holes on YouTube. Right. Yeah.
Because people want to watch something to be entertained or they want to learn about something, right?
Yeah.
And I like to use analogies, right? How many of us can dunk a basketball, but how many of us enjoy watching the slam dunk contest?
Amen.
Right?
Exactly.
Most people probably don't play
That's
sports.
All they watch.
Watch sports all day Sunday, right?
Yep. Oh yeah.
I love challenge videos. I watch these guys in Australia. How ridiculous! They just try to break world records. They do dumb stuff. They're Aussie guys that just really do stupid, crazy stuff. But I have the bell turned on because they're gonna drop a boat off of a 45-meter tower because they have nothing else to do.
Yeah. Yeah. Hell yeah. But kind of like the reselling community as a whole on YouTube, I think I've had nothing but good experiences with everyone. At that same point, like I don't really associate with anyone outside of these platforms. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Kat is pretty much because I met Kat through a Facebook group, and we kind of started at the same time. So Kat's been there, but you just got to keep your circles, small, or just I think it's just like real life. You get caught up into certain things. You can get caught up into certain things in real life and online. So, you know what I'm saying? You just got to be cautious and try to. I really don't have. See, I moved away from San Diego because I didn't want to deal with people.
Right. I
was born and raised there. I love, just being at home, going out on my terms. If there's a family function or friend wants to, hey man, I haven't seen one. Let's go golf, and I love golf, but let's go golf. I'd rather just be solo, man. Like, I'd rather be at home and be solo.
Yeah. Lone Star Picker, to the panel, you forgot something. The consistency of these YouTube videos too.
That shit takes a lot of time, man. Like YouTube is working itself, man. But again, we're on YouTube. We're trying to grow our YouTube to make money. End of the day, I'm not on you. If I knew there was no way I could make money on YouTube, I would not have a YouTube channel. And I'm being flat out honest.
I like this question. Do you prefer watching pre-recorded, so premieres, or live, or just a pre-recorded video? All right, Dan, I want you to answer that one first. So 3 videos: a basic upload, a premiere, or a live.
So I started watching YouTube a long time ago, purely on pre-records, because I would watch either like live, even though they're live recorded music videos, but I just love music. I watch a lot of golf related content, golf equipment reviews, even on-course vlogs, if you will, of people golfing, because I just love golf that much.
Yeah.
So I was like almost 100% pre-record person.
Yeah.
Until about 2 to 3 months ago. And I dig the live aspect only because you can interact, or mainly because you can interact.
Yeah.
And it's the networking aspect. It's the socialization. But I think I enjoy both types, because the pre-records are on, I can just sit down and just sit back and relax. There's no effort other than just taking it in. With lives, it's like you really got to focus. You want to drop some one-liners. You want to be funny. You want to, get feedback, interact with people. So.
What about you, Calvin?
Yeah. Man, bro, I didn't know YouTube had like premieres and lives until I actually started putting up content and seeing who was in the community. Like, I was not aware of that stuff, man. So naturally, I lean towards just pre-records because that's what I'm used to. But I'm starting to get active in the lives and the premieres a little bit more, especially since my channel grows. I think I enjoy both of them now. Lives are cool for their own reasons, and pre-records. See, I could watch a lot of pre-records. Like, I don't know if I'm listing or something, I'll just throw a pre-record in the back. But kind of, Tommy was saying the other day, I feel him on it. Like, depending on who you watch, the videos are short, so you got to keep finding stuff to watch like every 5 minutes, 10 minutes, and that can mess up your flow. So I don't know. I like both of them, to be honest, though.
Yeah.
I feel a lot more comfortable doing lives, to be personally.
Yeah.
Although I don't want to be a live person at all. I like doing the pre-records. I like editing and stuff like that, and doing the channel that way. But I do feel always weird. Like, it's a weird thing, like recording myself, and knowing that there's not a lot, but there's people on the other end that are ultimately going to see it. Is weird to me. But live is like real life.
Well, that's just it, because live, it's spontaneous, right? It's whatever happens. There's no chance to hit pause or re-record. Whereas a pre-record, people are going to give feedback, and so in where it's constructive, whether it's good or bad, right? But I think it's
good or bad if you want.
You feel more vulnerable doing pre-records, I think.
Because you're thinking the process, because you're put. Yeah. Again, you're like a TV show. You're putting that story together. Like, content is the easiest part. Recording yourself on a
You're the director and the producer plus the actor. You're everything.
Whipping out your GoPro and getting footage is the easiest thing in the world. Now you're like, okay, what's the storyline going to be? How am I going to put the title? Like, what's my like? A lot goes into that, man. It's a lot more thinking involved in the pre-records. Kind of like Tommy's saying. Hey, lives are way easier. It was difficult for my first live getting it set up, but now that I did, it seems pretty simple.
Bro,
I love Andy's comment. Sorry,
I know
the one-liners are the best.
Oh yeah. But like I consistently, yes, we ain't gonna lie, the live is so easy.
Bro.
I finished editing a video last night, got it uploaded. I didn't have a title for it, so I waited till this morning. And I didn't want to premiere it because I knew I was going to be busy all day. So I just threw it up there. And I was like, cool. If somebody wants to watch it, they can watch it. If they don't, I got home tonight and I told my wife, I said, hey, are you going to bed? I'm going to jump on and do a live. I didn't have to advertise it. I just wanted to see if you wanted to talk.
Yep.
Now, if I'm on the flip side, I do not like lives. I love the interaction. But usually when I have YouTube playing, because it's what you were talking about, Calvin, I'm listening or I'm working on something and I want like filler. I love the knowledge and stuff like that. When it's a live, I'm trying to stay in the conversation, but I won't get anything else done. I won't list. I'm so much involved with, I want to tell jokes with Dan. Kat like tagging me and stuff. And she's like, yeah, did you see this? Or she's blowing up IG. And I'm like, I'm so involved in what's happening. So like lives, I'm really bad. Like I want to hang in there for like 10, 15 minutes. And then I'm like, oh crap, I got to get to work. Like I'm on limited time. I gotta get stuff done. And everybody's growing their channel right now, and lives are a great way to get your watch hours and your sub count up. You know, so
on
I just don't want to show disrespect and stuff like that. But it's like typically if I'm not editing a video or doing something like that, what I want to do, because I want to do it for you too, Calvin. It's like I want to pick somebody's channel and just watch all their stuff. I just want to run your time up. It's like,
yeah,
I want to do it for some of the friends on here and just go, all right, let me get on your channel. Let me just watch them. Let me get you some time. Let me do what I can. Because all I'm doing is working anyway. Let me add to whatever you're doing.
I think there's two types of lives though. And there might be more, but in the reselling world, there's two types of lives. There's the lives that it's going to be like kind of structured, informative type of lives.
Yeah.
Not anything crazy structured, but you know what I'm saying? And then there's the lives that kind of give you that escapism. Like it's loosely reselling.
Yeah.
But it's not so much reselling.
Yeah.
Like, of course, Tommy and Tracy, you know what they do.
Yep.
You know, they're kind of that getaway. Hey, let's go to work or let's go to the bar after work, fellas, and let's go have a beer and talk about our fucked up job or whatever. You know what I'm saying?
Jimmy said, yeah, I'm supposed to be packing right now. It's hard to do in live chats, man.
It depends. So yeah, certain lives are going to be, different. You go to certain lives and then you go, then there's some lives that, they give away stuff and, so you go for that. And, so there's different types of lives. There's entertaining lives. There's, I know I'm going to go here and learn something.
Yeah. Again, it's situational, right? It's like, do I want to be in a live and interact where I'm like, feel like I'm kind of in the room with them, right? I can communicate, they can communicate back. Or do I want to watch a pre-record where I'm just viewing? No different than just turning on your TV to a certain extent, right?
Yeah.
And I've watched live playbacks, and I'm reading the chat and stuff, and I actually want to type and look up stuff because people are asking questions or whatever. Like, I know that. I want to interact, but you can't.
So that's so good. And the other reason I like lives is part of my full-time job. The aspect of what I've been doing, I've been doing for 2 years now. So my main job is we do a church service. It's broadcast through Facebook, YouTube, stuff like that. I do a 10-minute pre-show and a post-show for anybody that's totally in an audience that has to watch through a phone or a computer or anything like that. Because we noticed the one thing you miss, like a lot of people want to talk in the lobby and talk about their kids and how life's going, and they want that intermingling time. So we provide that for people that are saying, I see the same faces from across the world. And I'm like, yo, what's up, man? All right, during the quarantine, how was your kid's graduation? What did that look like? Because, Dan, you hit it right on the head. There's somebody behind that screen that does want to say hi.
Yeah.
It's kind of like Cheers. You want somebody to know your name. You want to get connected. And so with that live service, we wanted to take it, besides you just being talked to, we wanted to give people the opportunity. So we have people behind the scenes that are actually chatting with people during the service. And then what we do is just a broadcast of like, all right, you heard that message, like, boom, what hit your head? Like, what did you instantly say? I got to change today. This is what I got to do today. Comment below, because we have a team that's talking to you that wants to connect with you. And it's giving people more of a home, like you said, rather than just watching something and feeling like, all right, I do have a question or a possible solution to help someone, but now I can't connect with anybody and do it.
Yeah.
That's one of the toughest things.
Is your church, you still everything is online for you guys right now?
No, where I am in Virginia, we're in like the phase 2. So we are at half capacity. So we're we usually have about 3,000 people a Sunday. So we in our auditorium holds about 900 people per, so we just do multiple services. So we cut it down to 450 chairs per. And we'll do multiple services, and then we do the same thing as a premiere, especially on Facebook. we re-show like evening services, or if we want to do midweek services, which then you have the same premiere capability. We still have people chatting with people, at least on that aspect. But yeah, a majority of our people are still online. Some people still aren't leaving their house and connecting.
Yeah, man, here in Iowa, bro, I don't even really know like if we even really had phases, man. It felt like, to be honest, like we never closed down in here in Iowa.
Oh man,
when you see the mask out there and when you're out and about, yeah, I mean, you know, stuff is weird, but I mean, the only thing we really couldn't do different was go to restaurants, and I haven't been able to get a haircut.
We're still one of the slowest to adapt back. We were supposed to be in the phase 3 this weekend, and they just pushed it back like 2 more weeks.
Jeez,
they've been hard on us. Andy, where in Virginia? I am, if you look Richmond on the map and Williamsburg on the map, I am in between those two. I can get to both of them in 35 minutes.
Yeah.
Like I'm south of Richmond, but pretty close to the coast.
Hey, like what Tommy's saying, man, making content is hard. Making content is hard, man, because there you go. You're putting so much into it, man. You know, like Dan said, you're the producer, you're the director. It's a grind, man. It's a grind, especially for the long haul. That's why I was like pressing myself tough. Like, bro, you got to do a video every day. Like, you got to drop a video every day. And just me personally, I feel a lot more comfortable dropping 2 pre-records a week, and you know, maybe doing a live once a week. I think that's my lane right there. And then I'll interact, you know, when I want to. But YouTube it's a lot of work.
It is, and you really need more time to do it.
Yeah,
I ain't gonna lie. I was so afraid of being judged on my first one. I remember I forgot to do a intro and an outro.
Mm-hmm.
So I went back, grabbed my shirt out of the dirty clothes, and put it on the next morning. So, because I was like, are they gonna judge me if I did the intro the day after because I forgot? And then
I do that all day, bro.
Be like, they don't care. I was like, I was trying to keep the continuity. I was like, oh my gosh, man, I was just overthinking it.
Bro, I'm not trying to plug my own videos. You could do it at the start and then get some of the inner video. I literally do my intros the next day or the day after. Shoot, like 4 or 5 days after, bro. Like, I don't put the same. I just do whatever, man. Because doing the intro and the outro for your videos.
Yeah.
For me, is the most awkward, weirdest shit to do. Because it's always the same thing. You feel like, Like, I hate doing my intro and outro because I feel like a weirdo.
Oh man.
I feel like, I don't know if that's just me. I feel like a weirdo, bro.
No, I feel like, and I think it's something good that you can do. And not you, but anybody that's making content. It is to go back and watch your stuff and critique yourself. Because like, I think it was Sam Dapper Tiger the other day. He said, what if you change your intro instead of saying, for example, I'll say, hey, what's up? My name is Josh. Flip finds fun, eBay seller.
Mm-hmm.
I'm here going on this big source trip. He's like, cool. You just assumed that new person knows who you are and knows what you do. What if you got somebody's attention? You said, hey, my name's Josh. I sell stuff to make good money right here on eBay, and I want to teach you how to do this on YouTube. I go by Flips Finds Fun. He said, you gave the same information, but you just got somebody who's going to watch another minute. You know, it's good to critique yourself, to look at it and go, all right, how do I get this better? You know, what do I do to, because your hardcore followers are going to follow. They're going to watch your video.
Mm-hmm.
But how do you gain that other person that goes, why should I watch, and do you care that I'm new? Or do you care that I'm a sub already? You know?
Yeah.
And I even watch bigger platform people, you know, the millions of people, and they don't forget to do that. And I'm like, that's kind of a good little, but I don't notice I do it until I watch my own stuff and go, dang, man, if I didn't know this dude, would I feel connected? Would I feel like this is important to me? You know?
Yeah.
And I have to put myself in that lens all the time.
Well, if you're doing like, if you're saying like, if you're new to my channel, you think that doesn't ring bit or like make them feel good or like feel connected? Is that what you're saying?
Well, I try to go, because Dan hit it earlier. You're either on here for entertainment or information.
Yeah.
In reselling, if you go by search analytics, the biggest searches are how to. They're
how to make money.
I want information.
Yeah.
Not as much entertainment. Entertainment comes from your already subbed people because they like what you're doing. And I was like, oh, does my intro exclude the person that found this on how to? Did I just jump into my subject matter because I want you to know I'm on this 14-day journey? Or did I go, hey, this is what I do. Here's why I'm doing this. And I even try to work on the last one. I'm doing this 14-day journey to see, as a reseller, if I can do better with money coming in rather than money going out. What does money going out mean? I'm buying way too much stuff and I'm not getting it listed as fast.
Yeah.
All right. Even if my sales were lower, I spent no money this week. How did the checks and balances work? You know? And I was like, dang, I have to really think through. If somebody found this, do they stay connected? Do you get better sub numbers for that? You know?
Yeah.
I want to test it for a little while.
Okay, let me put you on the spot. So, say real quick. It's probably about to be weird, but don't worry, we're gonna work through this because I'm trying to see what you're talking about.
Okay.
Give a little clip of your old intro compared to your new intro, then, so I can understand what you're saying.
Okay. I would do
weird.
I do my dumb little intro and be like, "Oh my gosh, can you believe how much this Stanley measuring tape is?" Boom! I go straight to my little bumper.
Yeah.
And I'm like, "Hey, what's up, YouTube family? My name is Josh. Flips finds fun. Love for you to check me out on Instagram. Love for you to do that. Hey, I had the opportunity to go to Goodwill. I found this awesome tape measure, and it's gonna go for this much money." Okay?
Yeah.
So I didn't say. I might have forgot where I sell stuff.
Yeah.
How long I've been doing it.
Yeah.
Why did I go to Goodwill?
Yeah.
What am I going to teach that person that just found a pair of Jordans in their closet?
Yeah.
So now what I would love to do is, man, this Stanley measuring tape does really, really well. You would not believe what this sells for on eBay. All right. So now I've told you what I do. I told you that I have this weird thing that probably everybody has in their garage. And I told you where I sold it at. So now I just increased somebody to watch. I increased 50% of the people to watch a little bit longer.
Yeah.
I'd still do my bumper because I want to clickbait a little bit. And I'd be like, hey, what's up, everybody? If you're joining me on YouTube, my name is Josh. I love to resell stuff on eBay. And I love to share information that I find with a community. I go by Flips Finds Fun. I do funny stuff on Instagram, but I do information on YouTube. I just got you for 30 more seconds.
Yeah.
Because now you're going, okay, I might watch a little bit longer because I want to figure out what he's selling on eBay or why he's doing what he's doing. And I was like, but if I don't go rewatch my stuff, I'll get into a bad habit of just doing what I've been doing. And I need good feedback from people. But I need that like secret shopper kind of aspect. I need somebody who doesn't know me.
Yeah.
That if my video played at the end of Calvin's video as a suggested video, do they care or do they just want to see more Calvin? You know?
Yeah.
I'm just trying to think.
Yeah, I think it depends on what you're trying to get out of using this platform.
That's true.
Are you trying to get watch hours, viewer retention time? Then you're gonna have to do things where you tell stories. You do an initial kind of bait them, keep them throughout, and then get them to watch the whole video. So if you want to get ad revenue, you want to get those ad, time slots in there, right? Or are you just doing it for fun, for your own enjoyment, and for people who are going to be your faithful following anyway? And you're just having fun, and you're just being you. So I think you got to ask yourself, what do you want out of this? And then depending on that will dictate the structure or the way you're gonna put together and edit your videos, in my opinion. Because there are some people who do single take, just click the button and just go, and that's their 10-minute video. And that may work for them because that's what they want to do. They don't want to put necessarily work, any extra work into it because that's what they want. And there's some people who can be successful at it. It's what you want to get out of it.
Well, when I first name my channel, and I'll give you guys this pitch and you tell me what you think, okay? My channel name is Flips Finds and Fun. I jot down I don't know if you guys do this. I jot down video ideas, like in a book on stuff that I want to cover. that I want to film, that I want to
Mhm.
do. I was right there with you, dude. I was like, when's the last time I did a what sold? I was like,
Yeah.
I was doing source material. And guess
Mhm.
what? To somebody on the other side, they could think I'm just a collector. I ain't sold jack.
Yep.
You know? So I'm thinking of trying to up my ante to 3 videos a week,
Mhm.
starting a whole playlist of just finds, so it's just source videos.
Mhm.
Have a whole playlist built on what sold. That's my flip.
Yep. Mhm.
And then, like, dude, my son's the star. He's the content dude. Like, he wants to do his own YouTube intros and stuff like that. I want to do like fun family stuff that also
Yep.
revolves around stuff I find at a thrift store or yard sale.
Yep.
And just fun, dumb challenge videos, and build
Mhm.
3 separate playlists on the channel, because then I
Yeah.
can study the analytics and go, dude, everybody loves all the fun stuff. Or
Yeah.
everybody wants to see the what sold. Or
Yeah.
everybody loves the strap the GoPro on and show me what yard sale you're at, you know?
Yeah.
I'm thinking of splitting it into three lanes,
Mhm.
and just building the repetition of Monday's going to be this. You know, I'm not picking any days now. Wednesday or Thursday is going to be this. Friday and Saturday is going to be this, you know?
Yeah.
I think having an idea like that and writing stuff down is important because, you know, as you get older, your memory is going to start going, right? Unless you're some super genius that can retain everything. And then you might
Yeah.
have social issues anyway or whatever. I'm generalizing, but in
Yeah.
general, you know, people should write down their ideas because you're going to forget about it and we have so much going on, right?
Yeah.
And then as far as planning to come up with a structure or whatever, you got to have initial thoughts, but you have to adapt, because if what you think works and you try to apply it, it doesn't, you got to be willing to change it up. And I think it's you know, if you're trying to make money out of this, you have to look at your, like Tommy said, your retention data. Are
Yep.
you actually getting people who, number one, click on your video and continue to watch it through,
Yep.
you know, the ads? I mean, that's the bottom
Mhm.
line, right?
Yep.
Because then eBay will promote, or excuse me, YouTube will promote you. You'll get higher on search lists and so forth. So you have to use all the tools that are at your disposal.
Yeah. I think for the way I look at it, I mean, I would love to personally be a lot more structured and, you know, have everything in a line and, you know, goals written and stuff like that. That's just not the type of person I am. I've never been that way. I've never had that, you know, I kind of been able to kind of just like from growing up, never having too much structure from like my parents or anything like that, or any of my, you know, my aunts, my grandma, or anything like that.
Yeah.
I was just kind of naturally a cool dude, did what I was supposed to do, went to high school, had fun, got C's just because as long as I was eligible for football, I was straight. That's all I wanted.
Yeah.
And so structure hasn't been a foundation of who I am. So it's harder for me to gain a structure or create a structure to the T that's perfect, because I'm about to be 38. So it's harder. So
Right.
ultimately, yeah, if I can get people to help me out in that avenue,
Yeah.
that's the ultimate goal. But yeah, man, I mean, I think that I can't have a structure with YouTube. And watching so much Gary Vee, like Gary Vee is my guy. I don't watch his content all the time, but if I'm watching any type of content like that, I watch Gary Vee. And the thing I take from Gary Vee is just create the content. Don't worry about anything else, schedules and doing all this stuff. That's all excuses for you not to do. Just create the content, do what you can do, and then figure everything else out after that. So I do, you know, of course I want to be more structured, but man, I'm a freestyler. Like I spitball. I'm off the top of my head. That's how I work. You know, I don't know. Maybe that's wrong, but that's how I work.
Now, something that I put into play, because, dude, Calvin, I'm right there with you.
Yeah.
Dude, like, I'm like squirrel bad. I'm like, oh, this will be sweet. Dude, I recorded a whole slow motion water balloon fight with my son that I've never put out. Because it was so much fun. I was like, what I've tried to do, and I'm right there with you, man. I'm glad we're close to the same age. I'm 37 now, so yeah. And I've wanted to put disciplines in on things to where I was like, because it's easy to say, well, this is just the way I am, and I was like, cool. Is it okay to stay that way? You know,
you have to recognize that you want to get better.
And I've been like, all right, so what things do I need to put into practice, even if they're tough, that are disciplines?
Yeah.
Heard some really good advice, man. It was like, let's just talk about money. And Dan, you're really good with money, man. I give you props for it. Was there anything in your life, Dan, that inspired you to be good with money? Or was it something that you just said, I'm going to decide to do?
It's easy. I didn't grow up with a ton of money. I mean, my parents were, middle class family, nothing crazy.
Yeah.
And I remember having conversations with my parents, and them talking about, living paycheck to paycheck at certain times and so forth. And I'm like, I don't want to do that. I want to live comfortably.
Right.
And school was always easy. I told you the story. I wanted to be a psychiatrist initially, then I wanted to be an orthodontist or a dentist. And I'm like, I don't want to stare in people's mouths all day. So I went into engineering. I mean, math and science is always easy. Physics is always easy. So I went the quote easy route. And so there you go. So
the only reason I asked that, because I was like, you're doing well. A lot of resellers they're grinding to make extra cash and stuff like that. One of the best thoughts that I had, my parents lived pretty good jobs, but dude, we had sailboats, a vacation home. In my driveway, there were always 9 cars, and there were only 2 people driving.
Damn.
My dad was a stuff guy. He wanted toys. When my parents divorced, guess what money he had to fall back on?
Damn.
My dad wasn't a saver. He was a spender. I like stuff, He didn't financially plan that way. My wife and I will be married 9 years in September. Her family was the same way. Her grandmother got an inheritance, tons of money, could have put all the kids through college or paid for their retirement. They put an in-ground pool in. Not a bad call, but guess what? None of it went to the bank. What we noticed in our 9 years of marriage, when we got extra money, guess what we did? Went on a nice vacation. Bought a new this, bought a new that. And I was like, one of the best things that I learned is my little boy's 4. As I said, okay, you can teach your son all you want, but your son's going to learn more on what you do.
Yeah.
What am I teaching my son about a financial future? What am I showing him should be a good practice so he doesn't have to figure it out for himself like I did at 30 some years old, Man, I started thinking through that, and that's what's spurred on a lot of this conversation, because I was like, yeah, I want to produce multiple revenue streams. Dude, he hosted a fake YouTube video with me today while we packed up our items going out in the mail. And he asked questions, and he's like, Dad, what is this? And I was like, hey, go grab that pair of Nike shoes. And he's like, oh, these are cool. Somebody bought them? And I said, yeah, somebody bought them. Now, me and you, we're going to pack them up. And he's talking to this little tripod the whole time going, yeah, YouTube family, we're sending out shoes. And
on it.
He thinks he's just this big YouTuber, but the cool thing is I was like, I want to instill in him to where if we do fun stuff, this is why we get to do it. And then also the value of, hey, right now we're not going to go do fun stuff because we're going to save money to where we can do this and do this and do this. Because I want him to see the actions of healthy habits, not habits that I learned from a generation of bad habits,
Right. I like that in your video when you had your son when you were sourcing with him and you had him in the car and you could tell he was starting to burn out a little bit. He needed a change, right? And you're like, well, we're doing this right now. We'll go play, in the park or whatever, right? So you're teaching him you got to put in some work in order to get some benefit, not just, there's so many people grow up with a sense of entitlement, right? It's like, give me. I deserve this. Well, nobody deserves anything. You got to work for it.
Yeah. Oh yeah, definitely. It's crazy because like I told you, my wife is that go to work, work the 30 years, get that pen. She's that type of girl. So I'm different. So during this whole quarantine and all that stuff, like having to teach my kids, that was not my lane.
Right.
But I was teaching them like, hey, they're out there. They were with me from 7 this morning till noon, garage selling. They get tired. They get exhausted. They get antsy. But I tell them, hey, if you want those V-Bucks, dude, this is what we got to do. This is going to get you those V-Bucks, man. Daddy's got to work.
Yeah.
And so they get it, you know, and I try to be courteous of them because they're 4 and soon to be 7. But you know, they watch and they watch what I'm doing, and they know my son knows if he wants to make some money, he could sell some stuff. He was like, Daddy, I think I might want to sell some toys because I don't even play with them no more. You know what I'm saying? So you just planting the little seeds. Planting little seeds.
Calvin, I'm gonna tell you, you got to do that and then film it. I wish I would have filmed it.
Yeah.
My son came to me 2 months ago. Y'all have heard of Ryan's World? You know, the little $30 million kid.
Yeah, that kid's crazy.
Oh, my son's obsessed. Well, was, and he had all the toys and he was getting rid of them. And I said, hey, do you want to go buy you a cool toy? You can buy one toy, but you're either these toys you don't play with, you're either gonna donate them or Dad's gonna sell them and you get to keep all the money. You know, little homeboy was like, Dad, did I get any money? Dad, bro, he made $57 on 4 toys.
Hell yeah.
That he was done playing with. I wish I would have filmed it. I was like, just for the content value. But for him, we just did a yard sale this past Saturday, which everybody said, record it. That was going to be a great video idea until I felt so cringy filming people coming into my driveway. Even though I had the right to film them, it was, I think, it was like the first person came up and they're like, are you filming right now? And I was like, yeah, we got to do a yard sale. Okay, I'm going to turn this off.
But bro, you got nervous. You should have kept it going.
I know. I was like, yard sale from the other side. But one of the biggest things that he loved doing is he's now realized he loves giving his toys away, not just selling them. He's a little boy and he has little boy toys and he wants to give it to another little boy. He's like, I want a little boy to play with this and I want him to enjoy this. And it's like, I want him to see all the stuff we're doing, not just selling, but being generous and things like that, because it's instilling something in him. If nothing else, I'm instilling that he's not going to be a hoarder and he's not going to keep everything he touches. He gets the concept of I want new stuff, so I'm going to get rid of this stuff, you know?
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, man. Yeah, always plant the seeds, man. See, I grew up broke. Like my family is broke. We are broke. And so in a different way, I'm tight with money. Like when I get money, I don't like spending. I don't buy myself clothes. I don't do any of that. Like, if I do spend money on anything, I spend money on like experiences, but like material things, that's not. But man, moving to Iowa is probably the greatest thing I ever did in my life, bro. And it's definitely the craziest thing. You gotta think, if you're 35 years born and raised in a big city, and you move to the middle of the Iowa, it was culture shock like a motherfucker, like big time, bro.
You should have filmed it just for a reality TV show.
Bro, I was not even close to having a YouTube channel. It would have been crazy, but it's been going on 3 years now.
I know,
a little over 3 years now.
Think of the intro video. It would have been high rises, then cornstalk.
Yeah.
It would have been.
Did you feel like you were like dropped in like a witness protection program or something, like a different world?
Bro, different world. But you know what? The only thing is again, so I keep to myself. So it's really nothing different than what I'm doing aside from not being in San Diego and not eating good Mexican food. Like that's the only 2 things, man.
Those street tacos.
Well, that's another good thing to talk about going full time though. There's another big kicker to going full time, and that's your location.
Location issues, bro. It would take a lot more than my wife getting a promotion in San Diego for me to go full time.
I crunched my numbers. I know Tommy was talking about it earlier. You always play that game. You crunch the numbers on what it would take. And then when Josh was like, oh, I went full time. And then he told everybody, he's like, disclaimer, cost of living is really easy where I am in South Carolina.
You got to be.
He's like.
That's why I say there's different factors to it, man.
It's so easy here. He was like, dude, I've talked to him, what his housing market looks like. We're already, and Dan, you know this, what your housing market value is probably 25% higher than what it is here in Virginia. It's like,
Pittsburgh Anthony made a comment in one of theirs in the live they were in, and he was saying like somebody said they sold an old Olympic Jordan jersey or gave it away, and the current one sold for like $1,350, right? $1,350, and he's like, that's first and last month's rent, and I'm like, what? Yeah, that's not even half of rent, and where I am, you know what I mean?
That's crazy, bro.
Yeah.
Right. So a lot of it does have to do with location. I was like,
right.
So
Big
maybe
time.
to all you that want to go full time, move to a state or a city with low population and no business. And
Well, I always tell people,
strive.
oh,
You know,
yep. I always tell people it's not what you make, it's what you spend.
That's the
And
key,
obviously
bro.
there's other factors, cost of living and everything else, right?
very
So,
good. That's a very good point.
It's not what you make. Somebody making $1 million a year can be
broke.
way more broke than somebody making 50,000 a year.
Oh, I have some extended family who are, they make millions a year.
Yeah.
And they're in debt.
Yep.
Crazy, bro. Because they're too loose.
Debt
Too loose with that debit card.
Ooh.
Yep.
That is an angry monster that I beat and I stay away from.
Yeah, I can't go spend it.
No.
I get nervous. I'm nervous about money, so I said I always keep tabs on making sure that I'm not spending money, unless it can make me some money. Especially now, like I'm not spending it, man. Can't do it.
Well, we just and this will definitely be video content. I know Dan, you probably knew this because I was like, thank you, Calvin, because you just subbed here recently. Because I was giving you that sub back, man. I loved seeing you on Cat's videos, but video a while back,
bro. I randomly had you like playing in the background of one of my videos, bro, just randomly. And I looked back, I was like, oh, okay, there you go.
But when I had my first $1,000 sales week, was to my wife for her birthday to go to Disney World.
Yeah.
I told her the idea, and me and Kat got into a long conversation about this, which was totally cool. But she actually said, no, I don't want to go to Disney World. If I'm going to Disney World, I don't want any restrictions. I'm not going there if they're going to tell me I can't do stuff.
Yeah.
So we set the money aside and we kind of let it build up and build up and build up. We are still going to Florida. I think we're going to catch up and do a collab video with Kat while we're down there. We're going to be about 2 hours away. But no, we're going on it's incentive. I don't want to do it in a comparison way, so I don't want to tell people that, because right now, if you do travel, it is dirt cheap.
Oh, yeah.
Man, this is like the best, cheapest vacation that we've done in years. But we're doing a total vacation for a week, all 100% reseller money, reseller profits.
Yeah.
And just to say, we made it a goal. We said, all right, let's do this. It's going to be my wife's birthday. Another thing I want to do to really help Kat out, something else we're working on. It's a lot of things that we want to culminate into this week. Dude, I want to go thrifting. Like, of course, I'm going to hit up thrift stores while I'm in Tampa. It's like, why not? But
definitely,
it's more so just to show people, it's like, hey, your goal doesn't have to be this goal. I loved what he said here. Yeah, debt free, not rich. Dude,
that's it, man.
If people write these goals down, put them somewhere, like stare at it every day. Let it be your fuel when you don't feel like doing it, Like, look at it, write it on your bathroom mirror. You know you're going to go to the bathroom every day. Write it on the mirror. Look at it every day. It's like, put the goals out there, make them, accomplish them, check the box off, make another goal. I love it, man.
Definitely.
So most rich people are in debt and don't spend any of their money. I'm not hating on rich people.
Hell nah.
Nah, especially the smart rich people.
I mean, I think just at the end of the day, bro, we only get one crack at this thing. We get one life, bro.
Yep.
It's not worth it being stressed out. It's not worth it, with all the extra curriculars going around.
Yeah.
Again, live simple, do fun stuff, and just try to follow that. Try to have as much fun as you can within your means. You know what I'm saying? If you want to have more fun, make more money. So you're in control of that. You know what I'm saying? So, if I know I want to get to a certain point, I just got to make more money. But
they say Worry and stress are some of the biggest killers. They're the killers
Yo.
of marriage. They're the killers of health. And that's the best logic I've ever heard. It was like, why worry on what you can't control?
Mm-hmm.
And if you can't control it, why are you worrying?
Yeah, my motto is no regrets. You know, I make decisions based on what I know, based on information I know. And I forget whose quote it was, but I remember it was in the Van Wilder movie. He talked about worrying. He said, worrying is like being in a rocking chair. It gives you something to do, but it doesn't get you anywhere.
Right.
Damn.
I mean,
that's cold.
I do look at this. I was like, yes, there's some tangibles that are outside of your control. You know, health.
Yeah.
Sometimes you can't control. There's some circumstances you can't, but especially over your finances and stuff. Like you really do get the keys to go out and do it.
You got the keys.
You overcome so many circumstances, like especially in this industry, man. It's like unless you don't want to go out and find stuff, then you're just in the wrong business. But it's like you control it. You control how much time you put in. You control what items you go after. You control not even the YouTube stuff. It's just you can control what you want to do. It's your time. It's your energy. It's just so easy.
Yeah.
Hell yeah, man.
Hey guys, I hate to cut it short. I know we've been talking for a while, but I really got to run. So,
dude, I might end it as well, man. This was just a lot of fun.
I was just gonna say my wife can kick my ass.
That's what I'm saying. I just looked and she texted me and said, "Oh, it's almost."
My wife passed out, but she'll know.
My lovely wife created 9 shoe listings for me that I ain't taking photos of. So
she number one employee.
I'll be like, yeah, I'll let you down. So thanks so much to everybody in the chat. Mr. Bill for jumping in earlier. Andy Someta for jumping in earlier. Everybody in the chat. Thank you. Dan, the answer man. Hit him up. He's got the answers. And the Kelly Hustle. Calvin, if you guys aren't subscribed, which if you're in this chat, you are. He's grinding, doing it real, out in the Midwest, rocking and rolling, crushing it. But thank you, everybody, for hanging out. If they're watching this later, hopefully you find this entertaining. Hopefully it helps you. Hopefully you got a nugget of knowledge. But we're going to end it here. Thank you all. Have a great night. Woo. Hey, yeah, send me some pictures of that on IG. I'm gonna find them.
Yeah, the fresh joint right there. Throw that on YouTube, it'll sell.
Yeah, I'm sure it will.
There's not a lot of those floating around.
I see Dan being an Instagram seller. Take that picture and be like, offers. All right, y'all. Cool. Have a great night, everybody.
All right, fellas. All right, Dan, Josh. Later.
See you, Calvin. See you, Josh. Thank you.